पाकिस्तान में पहली बार PUBG मोबाइल का जुनून पहुंचा है कॉलेज कैंपस पर। अपना स्क्वाड जमा करें और अपनी कैंपस की नुमाइंदगी करें। लड़िए अपने विकार के लिए। दाव पर हैं $30,000।
Welcome back, gamers, to PUBG Mobile Campus Championship Pakistan region, sponsored by Oppo F19 Pro. Power up your game. Joining me is Ankit, and today we are going to be having some interesting games going on here, especially the teams that are in the top 16. This is where the main thing is going to be stopping because semifinals, we still have 4 games coming in. The teams that are all the way in the bottom, their chances of coming back are pretty much less. Let's be honest, it's pretty much impossible. Just in 4 games, if you have to come back on top, it's pretty much you will have to wipe the lobby out. At the same time, get a chicken dinner for yourself. I mean, that's just a massive statement in itself. And if you're able to do that, then maybe you'll get a 16th place.
Indeed, it is. And yesterday we saw Group A and C going against each other. They were scoring off, and now is the time when Group B and Group D will be going against head-to-head. And in these 4 matches, so there will be 2 types of competition. One, the top 16, who is gonna pick the spot for all those top 16, and then Group A and the C, those that are laggards in the top 16, those who have that the fear that they might go away from the top 16. They have that fear because once Group B and Group D will come into the play, they will just go gun all blazing because they are also eyeing up for the top 16. But the way each and every team has performed, that is splendidly well.
Exactly. That is definitely doing pretty well. I mean, on the top, we have TeamXquetta going on. Then on the second, Bubbly and stuff like that. The top 3 is pretty much looking like there's a competition going on between these lads who's going to be getting the first place. But again, I really feel like the good competition over here is like the competition that should be eyed out for is going to be the 16th to 14th position because that's going to be more kind of like an interesting one. On the second page, if you want to get to 16th place, I'm pretty sure there's not really a massive difference between the teams that are even on the latter half of the board. So I really feel like 16th place, the teams that is in the 16th place right now, they will have the most pressure on them.
I mean, exactly. Even if you take that from 12th to 16th spot, the point difference was not so much. So even if a team, so take an example, a team coming from the side from Group B or Group D, now they are standing on the third half of the chart up after that 16th spot. Maybe somewhere down to the line to 19, 18, 21, 22, 24, maybe 25, 26. If they perform back-to-back 2 good games, maybe they collect 30 or 40 points. So we have seen how the teams are crunching and egging with all those points all in all. So there is a bottleneck situation already, but the top 16 will only qualify. So Group B and Group D, their fate will also be sealed today. But Group A and C, those who are lagging behind, or maybe they are in that susceptible position, they must be just hoping the way Group B and Group D plays, just not in order to trespass them.
Exactly. I mean, exactly. As you did mention, you did mention it pretty nicely that all these groups, now especially on the 12th to 16th position, points difference not really much. So teams that are below them, they would want to get the position. I'm pretty sure it's going to be more kind of like a climbing up, climbing down situation, especially on 16th and 15th. And I'm pretty sure these teams would want to make sure they're freezing their position out. So now the real pressure is on them because they haven't really solidified their position on the finals. They need to be on the
I mean, yeah. Exactly. So as you were just rightly mentioning the facts, and it will definitely come into play. But Group B and Group D, when they come into play, teams like Rules, Brekar, X Generation will be coming to play. Teams like the Slayers, we have seen them performing in the top notch, and they once are in good knock, nobody is able to stop them out there. And we have seen once they start decimating all the teams, every movement, every feed they just try to put forward just gets tagged into their number, and we have seen them decimating and dominating the lobby. Also talk about teams like Team Prime, Quetta and Chaos. We have seen them wrecking havoc once and all in every time when they come into play. So this will be a challenging game all in all for Group B and Group D because yesterday we saw not much of team from the sides of Group B and Group D were in the top 16. Some teams did have played all the 12 matches, for example Group A and Group C, and these 4 matches are just left for the sides of Group B and Group D, and just because of that they will be going head to head, and they will be locking on once they maybe they are not having that octagon, but yes, they have the 3 maps, the Erangel, the Miramar, and the Sanhok, that comes into play. The 4 matches, all in totality, starting with Erangel, then switching to Sanhok, and then the third match of the day that comes as a Miramar, and finally ending the day with Erangel. So all in all, it becomes a good day, and you don't have much options, and you don't have much space of room that you call about that. So that is just one thing that you just mentioned about. But these teams must be eyeing for that, because we have already seen the amount of prize pool that is on the stakes, and not just only that, we have that bragging right, that iconic name, the chance that all these teams, all these players get to make for themselves, and just because of that they will be fighting their odds off, and just try to if they are granted with an edge, if they are offered with an inch, they will try to make a mile from that single inch. And just because of that, and once these teams come into play at the end of the day, all the 12 matches for all the 4 groups, the A, B, and C, and D. Yesterday we saw 12 matches for Group A and C being exhausted, and now will be the time where 4 rest remaining matches for Group B and D will be getting exhausted. So a lot of thing on stakes, a lot of money on stake, if I have to say that. But we also saw, we have also known about the MVP prize pool that will be given to the particular player. So they are also performing in their level best, if we have to talk about that, the individual performance, and obviously the individual performance of each player. If we talk about all the 4 players, so their responsibility, their individual performance becomes important, because then it becomes a 4-man lineup, it becomes a 4-man roster, and then you are able to perform. But we have also seen some players with just going with 3-man roster, 3-man lineup. Talk about the team Arcadians, they have performed decently well, but some teams with 4-man roster have also dominated the lobby. Teams like QWERTY, we have seen a team Bablu, STDX, the Slayers doing well, pretty decent enough. But these are the big names, and one thing that I would like to bring on the table is that not only just that these young guns are trying to perform and just trying to showcase themselves up, and just trying to outshine other in order to shine themselves up, but they are also engaging in these fights with big names, big young guns. So they are also gaining the momentum, the experience, the rhythm that they want, because this is the pedestal. This is that I would call it the pedestal where they would find themselves in that offshoot region, and then they will making the aim, because tomorrow or maybe day after tomorrow, after 6 months or 8 months, we might be seeing some players, some teams from there making a big names of themselves. And just because of that, we will be witnessing the match sooner or later on our TV screens, and we have to still see which teams make the most of the situation. Let's talk about the teams that will be playing today. Teams like X Generation from the sides of Group B. So Group B once comes into action, so there are a lot of things on the stakes. Not much of the team have performed good, but one team that comes into my mind, that is of Portal Esports and 0x. So 0x has been consistently trying their level best in order to get some of the chicken dinners and the points table that help you climb that table, the rock, and pile up a massive points that helps you to build the momentum. Also, Portal Esports, I would like to bring the name, because they like when they were playing against one group, Portal Esports, in the last match, they did secure a chicken dinner. So they might be carrying the momentum right from there. So ending a day, they did secure a chicken dinner. It is a good thing actually that went into their way, and this can be helpful for them if we have to talk about that situation, because chicken dinner not only helps you secure that 15 points. If you accumulate more and more kills, that eventually gets added to the total number, if we have to talk about that thing. But also it boosts you up with the confidence, and it shows that you are capable enough of taking the match completely in your hand, and denying that chicken dinner going into the opponent's team. So this is just one of those things. But let's talk about some other more teams like NFPxSky Esports, youngsters. We have seen youngsters and the fight between the stalwart esports and youngsters in the area of boot camp when they were collided, and youngsters did emerge victorious. But apart from that fight, youngsters did miss the mark somewhere down the line, and just because of that, they were not looking damn good. But I'm sure that today, when they come into this battleground, into these 4 matches, they will be looking forward to make the most of all these 4 opportunities, because after this, after today's matches, none of the matches will be left for them, because this is the last day of semifinals where Group B and D will be going head to head. Lost Esports, Team Chaos, TeamXquetta, these are also some of the teams from Group D side, and they have also done decently well. 9020 Esports, maybe they just need to do something and just try to find themselves up, because yesterday we also saw Team No Sympathy going down the line. So each of the 5 that No Sympathy took in their hand, that went against them. But same thing I found with the in the side of Lost Esports. So just they need to work on the strategies, maybe the calls that IGL gives, and then they will be good to go. But these are the teams that I will looking really up to forward to. So yeah.
Continue, please.
Exactly, and still waiting, because I just cannot wait. The flight path will be on in a minute or so, because then all the viewers, all of us, will be excited to get straight away into that battleground to watch the match, to cause the match. And to be very honest, me as a caster will be really waiting to see. And I guess maybe somebody will be joining me soon, and will be heading towards that flight path and the match that will be in live in a moment or two. And just because of that, we have already seen that Group B and Group D they will be going head to head. So Renegades is also one of the team that always strikes my mind, because the way Renegades have played, that has been absolutely phenomenal. And I have a lot of expectation when they go against the big names, the big Goliaths. Yesterday we saw Team QWERTY and Bablu dominating the lobby. They are still in the top-notch performance, and it was Team QWERTY's name. It was Team QWERTY's game when they just edged Bablu himself. Bablu was actually just trying to chase Team QWERTY if we talk about the total point system. And in there, QWERTY did fall shy just 2 points of the 200 mark. Had there been a double century, things would have been a completely different, and I would have loved to see. But still, it was a very good performance, because in just 12 matches, accumulating close to 198 points is a massive factor. You have to be consistent right throughout all those 12 games. So performing in one match and going all guns blazing in 2 or 3 matches is okay, is good, is affordable. But consistently repeating the same thing throughout the course of 12 match, that shows the mindset, that shows the competency level of this campus championship. And just because of that, we have seen them playing the way they are doing. But Group B and D, once they going, I'm still waiting when the flight path will be on. And we have also seen, because this has been a long tournament, if we talk about this, from 128 teams going down to 64 teams, and then reducing the size, obviously from 128 to 64. So that means half of the teams gets reduced from 64 to 32. Now this is the round of top 32 teams, and once these all 12 matches will be played and gets exhausted for all these teams, then it will be a fate sealed for all these teams, because then there will be straight away finals after a few days that will be played. Back to back matches, back to back actions will be there. But before that, these matches will too be played once they come into action, because today is the day when Group B and Group D gets head on to head. X Generation, Rules, Brekars, the Slayers, Youngsters, NFPxSky Esports, Renegades, Portal Esports, 0x, teams like these big names. We have seen them performing in the way they have been doing so. 1920 Esports, Maximus, Team Prime. So all of the teams have performed according to their competency level and according to their performance. They have tried decently. And let's head toward the point system, that we are witnessing. The first gets 15 of total points. Squad Rooster, if we talk about this, the same thing I was talking. X Generation, Rules Breaker, the Slayers, Youngsters. So Slayers, they have impressed me a lot. Be it Bihakar, Asad, Reed, or Rahi. Rahi has been doing consistently well. Or maybe from the sides of Rules Breaker, Default, Toma, and players like that. Sky Sports, Renegades, Portal Esports, and 0x follows them next, because these are the teams from the sides of Group B. Clone and Bunny have specifically impressed me a lot from the sides of 0x. Renegades, Shazam has been an absolute stunning performance from their side, from the sides of Team FTE, Maximus, 1920 Esports, and Team Prime. So when they come into the frame, the player like Wardog, Quadra, Fadi, and Gacha, I will straight away on to them. Not only that, joining in the frame will be TeamXquetta, Team Caos, Lost Esports, and Team RB. And players like Hellboy, Hadi, Butt, and Shelby will be the players from the sides of Lost Esports. Players like Believe, Unknown, they will be there. But on what thing? This is the schedule, my dear friends, because of Game 1 will be live in a moment or two, as we can already see on our TV screens. Then follows the Sanhok map, and then Miramar, and the day ends with Erangel all in all. So this will be an action-packed day for all the players, for all the teams, if we have to say about that. And they have been doing consistently well if we talk about those things. But my eyes will be then again straight away how these players, these teams will be playing all in all. The PUBG Mobile Campus Championship Pakistan region 2021, brought to you and sponsored by Oppo F19 Pro. So all of the thing that Oppo F19 Pro has done on this grassroots level to help cultivate the players from their side has been absolutely phenomenal. And here we are, the thing that we were waiting for. The first game of the day, my dear friends, is live, as Erangel flight path goes from the southern side of Novaka military base down to the end of Georgiopol and the area on the eastern side of Georgiopol city. A completely western dominated flight path. And time and again, I have talked to my fellow casters, and we have been talking about the same thing, that if the flight path is dominating on one side and the circle goes straight away against them, maybe if the circle, just take an example, goes to the right hand side, that is of the east side, that is when the situation gets trickier and trickier. But these are all the players, these are all the teams, they have the experience, they don't lag with anything. All they just need to do is to hold their nerves off and play accordingly. And these are the moments, these are the young guns, these are the young bloods that are just waiting to showcase themselves up. And what better than this campus championship will be offering them? For now, I can already see teams like FTE dropping onto the area of Novorupnoy. Multiple of team I can already see going towards their drop location that they are waiting to and willing to go towards their side on the eastern side of the map. Maybe the area of Lipovka, Mansion, and Yasna Polyana is not glidable, but still I can already see the players are moving, inching towards their side. But I was expecting a eastern dominated circle, but the PUBG gods, the meta, has said no to me. Just hold on, lad, a moment, and just wait. The circle has been formed on the western side, taking as I guess Query and Gatka at the center. But already I can see the players from Rules Breaker in the year mid-year, they are still airborne, and multiple teams in the same vicinity. That means these teams like to go on the eastern side, and just because of that, they have to drop on the same area. Talk about this thing, overall rank standing, Team QWERTY still on the top, 198 points. The matches have been exhausted, they have played all the matches. That means that 198 points will still remain the 198. Bablu follows them next with 187. STDX with 148. Arcadians have done pretty decently if we talk about this, because Arcadians, they were not looking good when they were playing that qualification round. Also, in the first half of the qualifying stage for this semifinals, the 4 matches actually didn't go pretty well, but the way they tried to change the narrative, tried to change the course, that was phenomenal from their side. And I believe in them that they have the right potential, the right caliber to click for this tournament. And we have to still wait for that. The Slayers follow them next, and look at that point difference. The point difference is not very much from 4 to 7 or 8. Portal Esports, because they are in the lobby, they will be eyeing to secure the top 5 spot slot, and that will be a good thing if they do so. So there are some really banters going all in all in the area of school, and Rose of Maximus follows them next. R7 Esports with 78 points, FTF with 70 points, the Chosen 4 68 for Generation, 66 Lost Esports. So some of the teams that you are seeing from 9 to 16, they have already exhausted their all 16 all 12 matches. Now all they can hope, all they can want, all they want is to not let any team trespass them. But we all know at the end of the day, some team will be going all guns blazing, as all the teams will be looking up to hold that top 16 slot, top 16 spots, because the top 16 only qualifies for the finals. Right now, Portal Esports player on the TV screen, insane. Nocto Joker, all the 3 players looking damn pretty strong. If we talk about the overall rankings for them side, Portal Esports with 96 points. So it is a thing that Portal Esports might be looking up to secure in the top 5 slot, as 96 is the total point that they have right now. All they can do is to get some decent points right off the bat, right off the money when the match starts, and get to the top 5, maybe challenging the teams like the Slayers, the Arcadians, and securing some good points. And some teams will be really challenging things in the same course. Team FT, talk about these teams again. A team with the 3-man lineup: Usama, Paraboy, Reback. Again and again, they have impressed us a lot. For now, it seems that FT Esports are on the 13th spot with 70 points, and they must also be eyeing for the top 10 in order to secure themselves.
Oh yeah, sure. And I'm sure that you missed me, Ankit. Like yesterday, I could not able to cast because my mouth just got swelled up because I'm wearing braces, and I'm so bad that my dentist suggested me to apply an ointment, and I was like, no, bro, I'm not going to apply that, and just because of that, I look like a puffer fish. But let's not talk about that.
Are you okay now?
Yeah, I'm happy, I'm fine, and I'm very excited to cast the games with you because now we have the top 16 teams in front of us. So, Ankit, just tell me in a brief how these teams are performing, bro.
They have been doing recently. When we were talking about, our eyes were especially on the teams that were not looking good once in a while. Teams Arcadian, they have astonished just everyone. They are on the 5th spot. So one thing that might go against them is that they have exhausted all their 12 matches. But now it is, I bet 90% sure that they will be qualifying for that next round. The top 16 only gets to find themselves in the finals.
You know, I would love to see if they qualify. And by the looks of it, they are at the 4th position with 130 points. It's not an easy task if you could not able to perform well in the first day. But from the second day, you were so good, you were so consistent that now you are here and you secure a very decent position for you. But the question is, the teams who are in the 17th and till the 32nd position, they still have a chance.
Exactly, they still have the chance. Teams like Renegades, my eye are straight away onto them because I want them to really trespass and really turn the table and really change the course of the overall ranking and standing that you are seeing right now. And at the end of the day, at the end of all these matches, will be maybe we will be seeing any team, any players going all guns blazing, and maybe just changing the course and finding themselves in the top 16. And then the teams like the Chosen 4 and other player teams, they don't have any other option just to hope that some teams don't trespass them.
Oh yeah, sure. They have to. They have to be careful about that as well. But right now we talk about being careful. Look at the position of Asher. Right now, he is a little bit careful about his position. Right now, he's just running in an open area, but still, he has a lot of cover. He has the cover of those fences, those walls, as well as those individual shacks. But look at the cluster near the northern side of Yasnaya Poliana, or we can say towards the north western side of school. We can see a lot of teams out there, but they are not having a good fight, or we can say they are not engaging in a single fight. So it seems like teams are literally focusing on those passive style gameplay in an early start. And Thug, He spotted down Roma. Oh, not able to. Oh, I thought he's not going to knock him down, but the answer is no. He is the one just going to knock him down, and I think so. Pan going to secure that kill.
He is just going to secure that kill, and that will be a booster for them. Also, I just saw Boneless, yes, exactly, from TeamXquetta being knocked off, and he will be soon converted into Great if he doesn't get that revival, or maybe if he doesn't get that cover fire. But it seems that NFP right off the bat just overrunning the dreams and
Oh!
trying to shatter the players. And I can already see NFP, the players are just rotating in the open with no fear. 2 kills already onto the name, so nothing has gone against them for now. But is this the strategy that they will be playing for throughout the day?
You know what? It might possible. Oh, Tuck spotted down another player. Come on, he is going to switch to his AKM. Going to AKM with oh my God, Psycho with his incredible Scarl spray knocked out Mujrim out in the open. Kill confirmation is going to be there, but rules breaker defaulter going to steal that kill. That's a very cheeky move from his side. So you have to be careful, right? These type of plays are very interesting. If you thought at this moment, I think so NFP, they were like thinking about this, that yeah, we are safe, but Rehman, oh my God, that he was just 1 inch away, knock him down. Come on, another shot. No, could not able to connect that bullet. So the main thing is, so NFP, they was thinking that yeah, this is our kill, so you have to be look out for your back lines.
Yeah,
there could be a person hiding out there.
Exactly, you have to be. And look at the way the matches have actually tried to change its scores. This is probably the bizarrest of the semifinals I have ever witnessed in this PMCC Pakistan, because right off the bat some teams are just looking aggressive, because NFPxSky Esports, any team, any player they are spotting, they're just not holding themselves up. They're just trying to secure the kill, and they have decently managed. And for now, 2 kills already onto the name. That means 2 points, and with that they are looking strong. But also some fights are erupting on the sides of Hospital, as Maximus is facing the brunt. Satan goes down, and Lost Esports, the team that is actually looking to make a number themselves up and trying just to flare their performance up and glitter themselves up, has knocked down, but the revival has come at the very right time.
Oh yeah, the revivals are very important at the right moment. But come on, Bison is the answer to secure that kill. Lost Esports not looking at a good position. Another knockout from the side of Maximus. Maximus doing a lot of job. Maximus, the players are so good. Satan, come on, you have to kill that last final player surviving from the side of Lost Esports. Unknown, hiding behind that ridge. Hussey, it seems like he know where he is. It seems like he know that where the players is hiding, but he's not sure.
He is not sure, and just because of that, he's just trying to overexpose himself up. But in all of the situation, Maximus, they have been benefited. Lost Esports now, since most of the players have been eliminated, so that's the reason Unknown was just trying to hide himself up with the help of Buggy, and all he can do is just to go with the help of that placement points.
Oh yeah. You know, placement points, they are very important. If you know that, if you talk about one team, right? If any team, let's take an example of Renegades, right? If their kill department is not that strong, but still you manage to finish at the 3rd position. Let's take example of Freestyle. If I remember 2 days ago, 2 or maybe 7 days ago, Respect, he was the last man surviving from the side of Freestyle. He finished at the 3rd position, secured very good points for his team. He converted 3 players into kill points, and just because of that, I think so they are in a good position in the overall ranking.
They are in the good position for now, but one team that is trying to wreak a havoc in this whole lobby, and that is of Team Caos. So most of the teams are just going for that rotation, but an early elimination from the sides of Lost Esports. That means their dreams might be shattered, but still they have 3 games and 3 opportunities left in the back. They will be trying to come back in the next matches with all the powers they have, but we have seen how the 3-man lineup can go against you, because at the end of the day, it goes down, it contracts down to how many of your players are standing on the feet. And already Team Chaos with that 3-man lineup, maybe they can face that numbers disadvantage.
Yeah, they certainly face that numbers disadvantage, and we all know in PUBG Mobile, numbers disadvantage will cost you a lot in the final circle. Sometimes it costs you a lot in the early stages as well. But if you want to be the best, still surviving with a two or a single player or a three-man lineup, so you need a best gun. You need one of the best gun, and we have one of the beast inside that airdrop too, and that is Groza.
We have indeed, we have Renegades looking strong for now. Holding this ridge can be a thing of importance and can be a thing that can benefit them, but for how long? This is a question. So most of the team, most of the players are just trying to constrict towards the area of Georgiapol, and this is a strategy that the IGLs might be looking up forward, because I can already see a drop, and the classic meta that we talk about, that if the exclusive drop has fallen down onto the area, one thing that goes in our mind is that the circle will be constricting in the same direction, and maybe
yeah.
the IGLs following the same thing are trying to hold a strong hold of all these hills. But Renegades have to be very much cautious, because on the left hand side we can see the big mountain of Georgiapol, and if they get spotted, they might be picked off from here.
They might be picked off because the hospital mountain
Ooh.
is secure, but it's not going to provide you that amount of cover. But we saw a blunder from the side of I thought from the side of Maximus, but no, Renegades, they are the one. They lost one player. One player got knocked out. But let's see how the fight is going on right now. We're just witnessing the players from NFPxSky. The players are hiding inside those smokes. Hussey's the one just going to eliminate some players, but no is the answer, because he got knocked out.
Exactly, rules breaker just trying to camp for that bridge, but they have been severely punished from the sides of X Generation. Now X Generation, everything lies on the shoulder of NF Thug. He is just trying to give the revival, but Rahman is also the one that will be giving the revival to Psycho. So if any team now tries to gatekeep them, this will be a situation, this will be a thing to look out for. But till now, 4 kills already onto them. That means a total of 4 points that they have already added to their number. And we understand the importance that each of these, at least single point, find themselves here, because we have seen how crunch the situation gets in the last matches.
You know what? Those crunchy situations. That's why we are here, because we love those crunchy movements. We love those spicy, as well as sometimes soggy movements, because we witness a lot of the water fights. Not in the campus championship yet, because usually the circle forms in an open area. But we can see that Kirat, he switched to a buggy instead of a coupe. Right now. I feel like it's questionable movement, because scoop, it provides you a cover, right?
Exactly, but
In a buggy you are open, you're vulnerable.
it is vulnerable if you have to talk about the pillion that actually sits on your back. But if you have to make a solo rotation, I'll still prefer to go with the buggy, because buggy offers you a lot more of stability, and just because of that, maybe you just try to go with that buggy. But I just didn't understand, as I just mentioned, because one player was already sitting on his back, and mentioning the fact that the only 2 players surviving from their side, they just need to put their every single foot in a very cautious position and in a very cautious way.
And you know what? Now the things might get interesting here, because now we're just brought down to only 13 teams. From now, if any team take an exit, at least they'll secure 1 point for themselves, right? That's the best thing for you. But if we look at this position, if we look at this play, if we talk about this playing style from the side of Maximus, it's still good, because they are at a good position in the overall ranking. But for how long? That's the question.
Exactly, that will be a question that will be answered when the circle goes for the 5th chip. But it seems the Portal Esports Nocto, his vehicle has been destroyed. That means he is facing the brunt of the situation. And 920 Quadra has his crosshair aligned pretty well onto the players of Nocto. For now, he has used that utilities and those smokes just to not let any bullet come on his body. But eventually that is a thing that you keep in a limited numbers, maybe 4 or 5 or 6, and that will diminish in a while or two. But for now, The Slayers are trying to slay all the players coming from the western side. We can already see their compound is being challenged by the sides of Rules Breaker, and but holding that angle, it seems that he is a solo man surviving. But for how long? As Dreed puts the final nail in the coffin and Rahi gets the final kill. That means Maximus, they are looking very strong.
That's the main thing. I used to talk about. I talk about this stuff, right? That's the main thing. If you are in the center of the circle, you could be the center of attraction, and that's what happened with the team of Portal Esports. That's what the case with the players of my bad Rules Breaker. But they take an exit. Still, they secured 1 total point.
They did secure 4 points in the names of NFP2, not to forget about. But Maximus, they are looking pretty strong. 4 kills already onto the name, and they just saw them holding the good compound on the western side. And with the 4 men strong, they can rig the havoc. They can do some wonders that can actually struck, and the team might go down bamboozled, because once they find themselves in a very good spot, very good notch, they just look unstoppable.
They are unstoppable at this position, because we can see Nocto, he is still surviving. Could not able to secure a single kill, but still doing a lot of job for his team. That's the most important thing, my man. Now, for how long he can survive, because he is vulnerable from every single angle, and unfortunately, Portal Esports take an exit from the lobby at 12th position.
They did go down, and it seemed that Team Prime have also joined them next, but it seemed that Reback will be facing the barrage of the nade from the sides of NFPxSky Esports. Gully Boy, time and again I have seen this player taking that opening with the help of that utility that comes into play. The same situation happens this time also, as Reback has been eliminated. So a Grenadier title, if you ask me to give to any player, I'll be straight away handing it to the players of Reback.
You know what?
Gully Boy also, because they work in tandem. They work in the way that actually helps them to take out those final knocks, and those opening knocks becomes important if you take such fights.
You know what, Ankit? I agree with your point, because the way you told about the way you tell us about the way these players play, and that was a cheeky move from his side, and Fadi is the one going to confirm that kill. RNG Renegades up against with the players of NFP and Team Chaos to take an exit. Meanwhile, NFPxSky still survive with the 2 men. Gully Boy, oh my god! That's how you use those utilities.
Exactly, utility used to perfection. That's what all I have to say. Generation follows them next, as the Slayers are looking pretty strong. Now, Renegades are just trying to give a push. 2 players are still standing on the feet, so they will be, if tries to eliminate the players of NFPxSky Esports, this will be a good thing. But Gully Boy, I just saw him holding that small compound, but does he know that he maybe his location is revealed? But also the players from Renegades have to be very much cautious, because they are just giving away their sound clues, and we just saw them going down. But still, Maximus 8 kills, and that ridge that they are holding with the help of artificial covers that they are trying to create, they are looking pretty strong.
They are certainly looking pretty strong, but you know what, at this position, Gully Boy, he just want to punish every single player he spots out. Right now, on the other side, Fadi, he got punished from the side of Muqadda, and Muqadda is just going to confirm that kill too. 1920 Esports take an exit at the 7% with only 2 kill points onto their name. Maximus on the other side, they are literally surviving. They are still surviving, and but with only 3 players, Maximus, they secure decent amount of kills, as well as the Slayers. And that grenade, okay, he was hiding inside that little room, right?
Exactly.
Come on, Captain. No, I don't think so that grenade gonna help him out. The answer is no.
Still surviving, still living on the edge is what Gully Boy is hoping for, and he will be looking to take the maximum of the placement points that he can take. But because for a moment it was seeming that the Gully Boy and their team, the players all in all, will be wreaking havoc. But for now, one thing that he has done pretty well is just to smoke out the windows, not let the players from their side, opponent side, let cross that ventilation, and if the utilities are being used to perfection, he might go down. But for now, Renegades have spotted the players from the sides of Maximus, and now it will be a challenging situation for them, because from a left hand and right hand side they are facing the brunt. But Slayers, Asad with that grenade, he is wreaking havoc onto the players of Youngsters. Now this is a challenge that Youngsters have to retaliate with the brute force.
You know what? You were mentioning about that you have to give that Grenadier title to the gully boy Asad from the other side. He was like, "Hey, bro, I need that Grenadier title too," and that was a perfect grenade. And knock finish was also there. Youngsters, they're still surviving. Fadi again with his M4 1-6 spray, eliminated one team. NFPxSky take an exit at the 5th position, down to only 4 teams. Renegades again, still looking pretty strong, still looking pretty confident, still showcasing that promising performance. They have a good hold of the squad house. They have those vehicles, but the vehicles are not that promising because they have those buggies, and we all know that buggies, they are one of the most crucial but weird vehicles.
I mean, exactly, because the tire, if it gets flattened, it doesn't help you to rotate and mobile yourself up. But it can be created in a potential cover that it offers. But look at this, the drop falls in the middle of a no man's land. A beautiful drones view that we are witnessing. We can already see where the players are actually aligned. On the left hand side, we can already see the players from Youngsters. The 2 players surviving from their sides are have also been scouted and have been spotted. So this is a game that can go into the favor, go into the name of the Slayers, because they have spotted the player. If they takes one down, this will be a good thing. Now 1 or 2 player might go for their total finish, because they already know the second player where he or she is lying, and the smoke might help them down. But from the right hand side, one player may be coming down to take him down, but no, Asad goes down. Rahi with that smoke and just trying to create an artificial cover. But look at that, Maximus, realizing the situation, has already gone for the flank angle.
And you know what, Ankit? One thing I just want to point out, that the coordination is on point. Dread, he know that one player is gonna peek from that particular area if my teammates start rotating, and he used that perfectly. And now it's time for Psycho to use this situation perfectly into his favor. But it seems like he's just backing off, hiding behind his buggy. He's also up for a rotation. Just got prone down. Oh, that grenade! Come on, Psycho, you're gonna receive a lot of damage, and he's still surviving.
Still surviving, on living on the edges is what I have to see. But look at this, a split from the sides of Maximus can go into the name if the player just holds in their nerve for pretty more time, because all 4 players trying to make a stronghold and maximize their position in the totality of the area that is offered to them is a good thing. But a push is coming onto his side. Teddy, for a moment, his heart was in his mouth.
I agree with the point. Come on, Satan. He could be the Satan for Teddy. Oh no. Teddy again survived that barrage. Another molly, another utility. Teddy, received a lot of damage, but that smoke is so good. Teddy surviving on magic HP. My bad, it is 1 HP, but for me it's magic. But oh my god, Rai, you are unstoppable. The Slayers are unstoppable. Use that opportunity into their favor. Knocked out 2 players instantly.
Exactly, 2 teams in this last circle. Renegades gets eliminated, and now it is all on the shoulders of Psycho and Hussy. 2 players up against to the 3 players that are still surviving, but Maximus, 1 player is still bleeding. That means he needs the revival, but the situation doesn't allow the player from the Maximus to give him the revival. Hussy just trying to spot down the players with that spray from his M4 1.6 and 3x. He could really put out some blunder, but no, Psycho puts 1 player down. Hussy eventually gets the trade fire, and this is a havoc that is being read from their side. Hussy now has everything on his shoulder.
Oh yeah. And now Hussy, you know what, Psycho, he's still surviving, but Hussy, he has good angle. He spotted down Rahi. He know that Rahi hiding behind that tree. He know that he's on low HP. He know that if you're gonna spray out some bullets onto him, he might knock him down. But it seems like he could have taken himself down by bursting down that vehicle. But he was literally 8 meters far away just because of that. 8 or 4 meters far away from the vehicle. He survived that explosion. Rahi, Oh, you are looking you are looking at a different angle. Psycho, with his incredible utility, is trying to force out Rahi to move away from that location. Look at this, Ankit. Look at this beauty. One player
Exactly.
from one angle and one player from one angle. 45-degree angle from the side of every single player. That is equal to 90-degree. And what does it mean? Straight to chicken dinner.
Okay, we will explain, but I still don't know how did you able to make the explanation. But Rai takes one down as he goes down. Now it's a 5-1v1 situation where Rai can he clutch this?
Ooh!
No! Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Is the answer as the Slayers comes up a chicken dinner in this first match. For a moment, it seemed that he might fall down, but a switch of that weapon helped him save himself and save his team, and with that, a chicken dinner straight off the bat. And look at that, 1586 is the total damage that they dished out, and straight away 12 kills, 27 points, and look at that shoot up in the number straight on to the third rank.
You know what, Ankit? As I just explained about those angles, Rai was like, I'm the hypotenuse. I have the highest amount of angle, or we can say the maximum amount of angle. We can see, my match is too bad. But he was the hypotenuse.
I
He
guess
got
right.
control.
That's why you scored so less in the match.
Come
So,
on,
yeah.
man! Don't roast me on the stream. But let's talk about the roasted chicken dinner for the Slayers. The way Rahi clutched that out, the way Rahi played, the way Rahi was so calm and composed in that situation. You know what? We have to appreciate that man. The way he
Yeah.
expressed, the way he finished it. Whoa, damn.
Manages to perfection, and that what Rahi made it possible in this last match situation, because 1v2 situation in that clutch moment, it actually there are 2-3 things that goes in the mind that
Oh, yeah.
obviously the players are trying to come on you with different angle, and with that approach, with that tension, with that pressure, with that adrenaline running throughout your body, it is a tricky situation. But this is what all the players, all the teams are waiting for, because this is that campus championship, and they are just trying to overcome every single hurdle that they are thrown to. And the MVP for this match for Psycho, it goes to his name. 6 kills, 835 damage.
Decent amount of damage dish out from the side of Psycho. Total survival time is 26 minutes 47 seconds. This was one of the most lengthiest map we ever casted together. 2 assists from his side as well. So Psycho, he was, one man army. Completed a good game as well as secured decent amount of kills. But now, how many points basically other teams secured? That's my question for you, Ankit.
Exactly. Maybe close to 10 or 12, but still you have to wait for that, because that is a thing that happens throughout the course of the match, and it becomes actually difficult to keep track that how many the team in totality has secured the kill. But we have the top players for this match. Psycho with that 835 damage, 6 kills, topping the chart. Fadi comes next with 864 damage. The damage is pretty much more if we talk about that, but the kill is less if we talk about the stats of Fadi. Then comes Uzair, and how can we forget the Slayers, Rahi?
Highest amount of he has the highest survival time into his favor. But let's have a look at the match ranking. That's my answer of my question I asked to Ankit, and that is Maximus. They were the second team who got the highest amount of points from this particular match. Youngsters, Renegades, they both the teams have same amount of total points, and that is 13. NFPxSky on the 5th with 11. Acceleration and 1920. We can see that these two teams they performed well.
They did, and some teams have actually tried to perform in a good note. Talk about NFPxSky Esports, Renegades. I just before the start of the match, I was mentioning, and we were talking about how Renegades will be playing, and they have tried to do the justice. If we have to talk the points of totality. But teams like Portal Esports and FTE, Chaos and Rules Brekar again faltering down, and none of the points have been secured from the sides of Team RBN and Lost Esports. So that bell has must rung in their head that we just have that 3 more opportunities left for the day.
Yep, you still have 3 more opportunities lined up for today. So, you know what? three opportunities. It could be three chicken dinners in a row, but only time will answer my question. But I'm eagerly waiting for the overall ranking because we would love to see which are the top 16 teams and which are the teams who are still holding that crucial position. But I'm sure the teams who are at the first till the 12th position, they already qualified.
Yes, they have that decent point. We'll see and talk about that situation. But the thing that brings the memory back, the memories that we may miss, but just because Oppo F19 Pro moments does feature after every match, it helps to begin with the memories, and we just enjoy all these memories. Here, we just say this was the moment that I actually missed, but in this Oppo F19 Pro moment, we just witnessed to see how 1920 did falter. Also, the fight that happened in that compound of hospital, all in totality, and this was a fight that was a fight that went into the way of the Slayers, and from there they just didn't stop, because then down to the line it was a 1v2 situation and Rahi clutched it to the best.
Yup, he switched to M416 instantly while proning down, and that's how you play. But kudos to Maximus. They just played only 8 matches, still at the first page of the overall ranking with 105 points, 1 chicken dinner onto their name. This team is looking so good. Other teams, so the top 7 teams, they already qualified, bro. They already qualified for the grand finals. The Slayers, kudos to this team as well. Only 9 games, still at the 3rd position. What do you think? Will they maybe hit the mark of the 200?
It is a bit tricky situation, because in yesterday's match we saw Team QWERTY falling down again and again. So if the momentum gets carried in their name as they have started things brilliantly, 15 point is trust me, 50 points is not much for the 3 games, but 50 points become a very big point total, and it seems as a thing that cannot be achieved if you are not in the rhythm. But since the Slayers have started things brilliantly, this can be a day for them. But let's talk about the team that are on the 3rd of the chart. Teams like Lost Esports, Team Prime and Quetta, they have a very good opportunity to find themselves in the top spot. And we just saw the point table and the point difference from 12 to 19, 18, 20 is not very much. So we might see any team toppling any other team.
Now, you know what? The hiccups will start. Players will start drinking more and more water. Their oesophagus needs more water. They'll become more thirsty because of this point difference. Because as you just mentioned, from 12 till the 18th or till the 20th position, the points difference is not that much, and you have to be so consistent in every single game if you want to qualify for the grand finals of PUBG Mobile Campus Championship Pakistan Region Season 1. And if you want a share of those $30,000 prize pool.
Exactly, you have to be at a top-notch performance, because all those top 16 from the semifinals, after this 3 rest matches for the day, their fate will be sealed, and then we'll get to see which will be the top 16. So I'm pretty much excited for that to happen, but still we have to wait for that. But the lineup, the team card for Slayers are on the TV screen. Dread, Asad, Rahi, Hacker, all the 4 players in their very best performance. 9 matches is all what they have played, except Hacker. But look at that, 4 matches, Hacker has just played 11 kills.
You know what? Look at the KPM of Dread. 3 KPM in 9 matches. 3 KPM, it means 3 kills per match. He always secure 3 kills minimum in a match, so it shows that his gun power, his individual fighting skills, his gun speaks by himself from his side. Basically 27 kills securing 27 kills with almost dishing out 4,000 damage. You know what, Ankit? It's not an easy task, because you are facing one of the best teams from the Pakistan region at this moment.
Can't agree more with you with this on this topic, because there are teams that have an easy task.
Yep. You know what? Totally, that's not an easy task, because if we talk about the teams, Kuwait, as you just mentioned, almost 200 points while just playing only 12 games. What if, just suppose Team Bablu, the Slayers, as well as Koti, they are playing in the grand finals, just playing literally, they're just playing alone. They're just literally fighting against each other for the top three situation, and other teams
Yeah.
who are from the fourth to the eighth position, they are fighting against each other, that we are going to share this position. So now things might get interesting or
Exactly.
bizarre. Who knows? Only the time will answer our questions.
Exactly. Time will answer our question as we are done with the first match of the day. Erangel has been finished off, but still, hold on a minute. We have the three matches lined up for you: the Miramar, the Sanhok, and the Erangel. But the next match is going to be Sanhok. But you have to just wait for it because we are heading towards a very short little break. But we will be right back.
PUBG Mobile, Godzilla vs. Kong, all new collaboration, live now. In the latest version of PUBG Mobile, players may encounter titans during a match, just like in the movies. Let's learn more about the all new game modes, shall we? Titan Strikes. The Titan Strikes mode introduces 3 titans to Erangel, Sanhok, and Livid. Godzilla and Kong move along designated routes across the map. Players can chase after them in vehicles, but if you get too close, you'll be knocked down and take damage. When Titans get ready to unleash a heat ray, the system will prompt players to leave the red zone marked on the minimap. Players equipped with high-level armor receive reduced damage from the heat ray. Titans will absorb energy which emanates gradually from the earth. Once the energy reaches a certain threshold, Titans release it and create Titan crystals around them.
Are you keeping it real? I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh, what's the word on the sea? Kicking up the dust, if you know what I mean. We got a good thing going. We got a good thing going on.
Welcome
Hello,
back,
ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
And
okay,
once
you're
again,
doing it.
welcome.
It's fine.
Yeah. And welcome back to PUBG Mobile Campus Championship Pakistan region. And this whole event is sponsored by Oppo F19 Pro Power Game. My name is Ankit, and again, joining alongside me will be Necro. And so we just mentioned and we just watched and witnessed the very first match of the day. The right off the bat, they were looking very strong. They were looking very aggressive. But in this second match, what are expectations from this map of Sanhok?
My expectations are always pretty much great, and I mean, pretty much almost all the time. You know, it's just the same thing. You cannot really expect like new things over here. But again, expectations talking about overall leaderboards is I want to see some like good teams on the top 16. I want to see a massive competition in the finals. I want to see a head-on-head competition, a neck-to-neck. This is what we call it, and especially if we'll be able to see that, I'm pretty sure even the viewers will be thrilled.
It will be, but the very first match we just saw some of the rotations that were being picked up from the sides of X Generation. So right off the bat, they were looking very strong, and they had some different strategy in this very day. So this is a thing that they are trying to surprise, and also in the map, if we see, they now is the time that they are just trying to go against to one team, and that can be Team Chaos. And this is the thing that I was talking about. But in this last match, NFP didn't lose any player, at least in the very 15 or 16 minute of the game. But every time the same thing doesn't happen to you, as one player we just saw has been picked off. Also, the players from the sides of Team Chaos needs that first aid and the healing up, but they will be looking good to go. But it seems that Pan is stuck in this situation.
I think down behind the rock here, trying to fight back in this situation is definitely going to be a tough task, and yes, gets taken down. All 4 players just have their sights locked on the single stone and on a single man. Of course, he doesn't really have any other much more choice than to either fight or die. It's kind of a do or die situation there. But for now, again, there's one more team right next to them. And again, another fight happening. FTE, here we have Paraboy as well, opening things up for him, taking down Defaulter. Defaulter, of course, will be pretty disappointed the way he died there. dying early off is never really a good thing, especially the map of Sanhok, and we do know how disappointing
Yeah.
it can get.
Exactly, and not just in the map of Sanhok, in any map if you talk about that, none of the team wants to go head on head and lose some early players because time and again we have seen the number advantage, how much it helps you and how much it benefits you, and all of the team, all of the players looks to go into the last zone, the second last zone, at least with 3 men strong.
Exactly. For now, we have rules breaker here. Just kind of moving left and right here and there, trying to scout anyone out. Doesn't seem like here's anyone. For now, he does know there's his teammate right next to him. So he is probably feeling pretty comfortable. These are the top 16 overall rankings here. 4th generation is kind of barely hanging on the cliff there, including the chosen 4 Renegades and FTF. Now, this is going to be a pretty much a crucial game for all these bottom 4 lads. If they're not really able to show up, especially in today's game, and if their position is retaken by any other team, then it's pretty much donezo.
It will be done because 3 players in the lobby and starting the match, so they are already in that disadvantaged situation. And again, I don't understand why FT don't get to play with all the 4-man lineup because Usama, Paraguay, Reback, time and again they have played. Sometimes they have joined the lobby with the 4 players strong, but most of the time they have gone with just 3-man approach. And till now they have done the job decently. All they just need to do is to find that top 16 slot.
The top 16 is what they're eyeing out for. Certainly, all these teams are eyeing out for that as well, especially teams that are on the latter half. They would want that top 16 position. So getting there is not going to be an easy task. It's going to be pretty tough. But for now, we have one more team right in our front lines. They're kind of stuck in the water. Cannot really do much. All that Matt could do is either swim around the edges and try and find himself coverage. Taking quite a lot of damage from Hussey there. Well, seems like he's not going to let him go that easily. He's trying to play it out as safe. Now, finally, seems like he has changed his course. Hussey is still pretty clueless about his position. For now, maybe he will be comfortable.
He will be, but a crate has already been found in that water area. Rotation has been picked up from the same teams. So, Rules Breaker is a team that was looking strong, but this is an RBN. A team that is down in that top 16 slot. They are not also in the top 16 slot. So this is the last thing. This is the last resort. They are just trying to see losing players in the way they have already done. And also, Butt is very much vulnerable. The moment Fadi picks him, finds his any smallest of the pixel, he will be taken down soon.
Will be taken down. Well, we have X Generation over here. Portal Esport is right in their front lines. Portal Esport has pretty much solidified their position in the top 16. So they're looking pretty good, so their confidence level in today's day will be at least looking pretty good as well. RBN getting eliminated out the game. Not really a good sign, especially if you want to make the comeback on top 16. You should not be going down that easily. While we have X Generation again scouting out the player of Portal Esports. Joker was out in the open, but Psycho just does not want to give his position away.
He just don't want to because he has no other option. Because 2 players surviving, he doesn't know that a team is already trying to pincer him down. Or maybe he has known, and just because of that, not giving the sound cues is what he wants to know. Because 2 players, you just cannot take the fight because numbers, advantage, disadvantage that we every time talk about. You're just not comfortable if you go into that fight. But with this, the first airdrop already into the water body, and it seems that in the no man's land area it has fallen down. That means none of the player, if player goes for that bizarre rotation, then only can it be have his hand on that arm.
Exactly. Then only will have his hand on the arm. Powerboy kind of shooting out here and there, overexposes his body a little bit, gets taken down instantly. A little glimpse is enough. And now seems like Powerboy has to pay the price for such kind of mistakes. Trying to stay alive barely. Look at the rest of the teammates. They're so far ahead. Being a little too over-aggressive there, Powerboy. This is what you should be always staying with your teammates. And if you are getting separated, it's pretty much if you get taken down, there's no way you're going to be your teammates are going to be able to recall you back, or you will be able to go back to your teammates.
Exactly, but Usama has gone with another flank angle and he has made the closing call So Rulesbreaker, now they have to be very much cautious because from the backhand side, Osama has already made a rotation. Eventually, Paraboy will bleed off, and it seems that Rulesbreaker have the idea. They have heard that one player from other team has come very close to them, so they are having rent reading and guessing the sound clues pretty decently for now.
Exactly. FTE again, kind of don't know that there's one team in front of them. Usama has spotted him out. One shot in the head takes him down instantly. That's a beautiful shot right there. Calm, cool, and collected. This is what I like to see. Usama took his time to hit the shot and finally connected as well. Now it seems like Shar is just behind that tree. He's trying to crawl towards his teammate. Taimur will make it back in safety for now. But the res onto him will be a tough task, and I'm pretty sure FTF are not just going to let them rest like that because Reback is there on
Exactly.
the left side. He will probably create a flank angle for himself.
He is, and Osama is just making sure that any player from the right hand side, if he just try to overexpose himself, he will again take him down. But Reback with that left flank angle, he will also not allow the players to get revived. But it seems that Tamur has been revived. That means again, if the player puts the first aid in that 7 to 8 seconds, they will be good to go with the 3-man strong, and then it will be a fight for number disadvantage where two players from the sides of FTE will go against the players of Rulesbreaker. But one thing is for sure, Necro, that in that proximity, in that nearness that they are lying right now, that fight will go into someone's favor.
For now, pretty much a comp situation. Teams are locking hearts, teams are locking eyes, but not really a lot of action being shown between them. NFPxSky is the team that is right in his front line. Maximus need to be a little careful as well. Make sure you're not giving away too much sound because that can just get you killed. Hussey, the man on a mission, proning in the grass, kind of being the snake. Hussey should probably try to take a little safe as well because the entire squad of NFPxSky is also holding their ground. They're not really moving anywhere. I feel like Hussey, if he just keeps on moving the same direction, will get caught off guard. Rulesbreaker, Reback almost gets taken down, but the zone will be doing the job for him. So now he doesn't really has to worry, but seems like he's not really following the kill feed there. So he has no clue if Reback has been taken down or not. Toma
Exactly.
does know that he's pretty low on HP. He's only making his mind if he wants to push it or not.
Exactly, they are just waiting and waiting and just waiting if the play zone pushes them, and then they might find themselves knocking the players. But for now, Maximus 3 kill, they are looking pretty decent, taking the fights well in their number. But I guess Halsey is very close to the players, and maybe Hussey knows this thing. From the backhand side, Ash and Gully Boy just trying to give the cover fire. So Hussey has to be very much careful. He just cannot overexpose himself in order to take the fight for himself. But Osama, the solo player standing from the sides of FT Sports, might be running for his life because the blue zone will be taking more and more player down as he has to make an entry. But look at this. Rulesbreaker, they are finding the players out in the open. They are still guessing or not. Maybe the players are in the blue zone, and just because of that, they are trying to clear all the area that from where they can be backstabbed. So this is a good strategy from their side.
Exactly, pretty good strategy from their side. While we still have rule breakers here again, kind of scouting the area out. What rule breakers trying to know where the enemy line is. FTF Sama kind of wants to take one down. We'll find one though, but another one is right behind the rock. Doesn't really check his angles and gets taken down from the right side. A beautiful setup coming out from the side of Rule Breaker there. Maximus again, still on a mission. One casualty on their side. Satan taken down. I like the positioning of Maximus. One guy's in the house all the way on the left side. Other one, Hussey, kind of moving in close slowly and steadily. If Hussey managed to find a kill onto himself, the guys inside the house can probably get back to their teammate and get the res, or maybe the other one can try and create a flank angle from the other side. This is where the enemy team will be absolutely pinched.
They will be, but as soon as the player from the sides of Maximus try to conglomerate and come closer to each other, maybe Satan will need that desperate revival. And yes, Hussey is falling back with the help of Smoke, just trying to give cover to the player that he is trying to revive. And a strategy that was going into the number as soon as Satan was knocked, because as you just mentioned, a very good, beautiful four player were all split in four different directions, taking the fight in their hand, but the revive has to come into the Satan's name.
Exactly. Well, for now, I mean, Satan was doing a pretty incredible job, overall, I mean, holding out in the fight, but did get taken down instantly from the back lines, and did not really notice there. I mean, the utility usage in that fight was pretty much on point. Unless some of the nades weren't really able to find their mark, then I'm pretty sure they would have done quite a lot of damage in that fight as well. But certainly, they need a little bit more accuracy in those kind of situations there. Take a look at the top left of the map. So many teams there, including Team Prime is there as well. And this is going to be an interesting one because F4 is there as well. Team Prime is there. Then we have X Generation there as well. Portal Esport, Insane, the last man alive is all the way on in the water side. And especially the teams that would want to make on the top. Take a look at ZX. If they want to make it on the top of the hill, it's going to be pretty much a long journey. And they would want to make sure that they're not getting spotted out by the players of Prime, because it's pretty much like they're the fishermen for now, and they can just catch the swimming fish easily.
And they will be enjoying to take all the fish away from the water, because Team Prime is way down in that list, and any kill, any player that they spot, they will try to take them down at any cost, because points is all what they want. Point is all what all the teams are playing for. But I'm actually happy with the circle has actually panned out through the course of this Sanhok map, because till now we have seen a very less of a Camp Alpha circle in the semifinals. Again and again, the circle has constricted towards the area of either Camp Bravo or between Camp Bravo and Charlie. So now is the time that Camp Alpha and the teams that do drop in that area comes into the play. And yes, team like Team Chaos will be getting the favor of this circle. Look at that split, 3 players onto that area, and Taha holding that high ground advantage, and this can be a game for them, because for now they are sitting in the dead smack center and they know this area pretty well, because time and again they have been dropping in the same area.
They have been dropping in the same area. Youngsters still playing it out pretty safe for now. The zone is closing out from the back. Need to move. They need to be quick on their feet. Finally found themselves a car as well that they had. Finally on a rotation, we're seeing them kind of rotate out as well, outside from the zone. Do you know if they take the inverse route, it's pretty much going to be filled with a lot of enemies. So they would want to make sure they're being as safe as possible, taking the longest route inside the circle. And I like how they're following the road as well. They're not really going off-road.
Yeah, it is a good strategy if we talk about this. And as just mentioned, taking the longest route possible in order to any skirmish, any fight, any squabble that they don't want, and inevitably or willingly or unwillingly, they had to take in that course. And they will be facing the blue zone damage, but still, just because the circle is just has made that third shift, the damage is pretty less if we talk about that.
Exactly, the damage is pretty less. But now Team Chaos again, kind of trying to spot out on the hilltop there. No visual on anyone. So for now, this game has been pretty silent, pretty peaceful. Not really a lot of eliminations here and there. Only 2 teams that got eliminated early off. And then later on, it's pretty much just silence all over the place. Teams are trying to scout the areas out. They also have positioned themselves in a real good place as well. For example, Prime Smart. This is a pretty brilliant position coming out from Smart. He has the most visual as well on top of the watchtower, and at the same time he can just back out and he would not be in trouble at all.
Exactly, he will be, and the location was pretty decent. But this is a typical map that we talk about, the map of Sanhok, because one thing that comes common that whenever Sanhok comes into play is that the aggressiveness, the quickness of the map that comes into play. But still, 17 minutes, close to 17 minutes into the game, but still 13 teams are alive. And if all the player gets revival, the players' numbers are still closing towards the 38 to 40. So this is a typical game where the players are just putting their foot forward very carefully.
Exactly. They're putting their foot forward pretty carefully. Being careful in the final game or being careful in those end game circles is going to be pretty much important. You will have to be careful. You cannot just go YOLO all the time. So you need to be pretty much careful as possible. While we have Renegades here making the move inside the circle as well. Finally, the players will be in, but one player is still behind, pretty far behind. And there's one more team on the left lines as well, 1920. It should be a pretty much easy kill as he's trying to swim in the water, and yes, he gets taken down. An easy kill by Teddy. Didn't really have to work hard at all in getting that. There's just so many kills flying in as the circle is shrinking down. And still, some teams are trying to make it inside the circle. So these kind of things are pretty interesting. Are these guys gonna be able to make it back or no?
This was a question that will be answered in a moment or two, because we're still waiting for the circle shift, and the circle has gone away from all these teams. That means Team Prime, 4 men strong, 3 kills already into the name. Now is the time that they have rightly put their feet forward, and maybe they can find the rhythm and just get into the top 16 slot, because all the team, we can already see they are just trying hard to find that one slot, because all what is that matter, because top 16 will be aggressing for the finals.
For now, rules breaker. So trying it slowly and steadily, making it to the compound. Maximus as well, trying to scout anyone out. Pretty much a quiet game up till now. Not really a lot of fights happening, but still NFP with just 2-man squad, including RB, BEX, and QRLS, with just 2 players alive in their squad, and the rest 2 have only won Portal Esports and ZEX. You don't really expect such kind of unfortunate stuff from the team Portal Esports, especially if they have some of the most strongest players in the Pakistan region. But XQuetta, I'm going to hold on to my words, as Boneless seems like he's going to be taking out all the bones from his enemies, and he's going to be leaving them absolutely boneless and slimy, as the enemy will probably get the res onto them. But XQuetta's position has finally been given away as well. Maybe it's time to reposition yourself, and Roof Breaker putting the final nail in the coffin, and they have been taking out the game as well. Beautiful elimination on their side.
It is. It actually is, but the way TeamXquetta is fighting themselves up, this is brilliant, because fighting from the shorelines is never easy. You just have the cover of that big rock that is there, but the moment you prone down at that place, other teams are having their eye on, and maybe the IGLs have the call in their number in their favor, that maybe the circle will going towards the shore area, and just because of that, we are seeing most of the teams trying to make a stronghold of the same place.
Exactly. Well, we have XQuetta pretty much trying to scout the area out. XQuetta is probably one of the strongest teams inside the circle for now. Portal Esports, insane. The last man alive still not really backing out from the fights. He doesn't want to play safe. He wants to rack up as much as kills as possible. Respect for that lad. XQuetta kind of getting out in their trouble, getting caught off guard, and did not really expect the enemies to kind of position that way. 3 players just fell off within a blink of an eye. You didn't even notice that 3 players were already out. Last player is all the way out in the water, really far away. And what is he going to be able to do?
Nothing is the answer, because you don't have any tactical approach, any tactical movement. You are just paralyzed, if we have to say that, because neither you can take out the healing, neither you can take out the melee, neither you can take out the guns if you are in the water. All you can do is swim, swim, and swim.
Exactly. But for now, Maximus again, who we have in our front lines. Take a look at the top right. There's not really a lot of compounds, but there's just a lot of teams. 10 teams alive in such a small circle. This is about to help break loose, as Insane drops inside the water, does realize he's getting pushed by someone in, and he does realize the depth of the situation. He needs to stay alive for as long as possible, so he does not want to take any chances as well. Team Prime posted up for success. Have the enemy locked in their side. QRXL is the team that they have them in the site and lost, kind of seemed to be pretty lost there. Portal Esports finally will be taken down. The final man is down and dusted.
Exactly, Portal Esports follows them, and Renegades becomes the next team following them next. And within the blink of eye, another team, 0x. So three team in just 5 to 6 seconds being eliminated from this match. So we can already expect and understand the amount of fights that are actually breaking up in this map of Sanhok.
Exactly, the amount of fight. It's pretty much interesting. I mean, especially in the end, in the start, there were not really a lot of fights breaking down. It's pretty much all the teams are trying to survive till the end, and the end zone is where the real exciting stuff happens because you don't really have a lot of space to move in, and almost each and every single land or piece is covered by the enemies. So whenever you want to make a move, you want to count each and every single step. Kills flying in here and there. BE as well, kind of finding themselves the opening. XQuetta finally taking out the game. Taking out the equation. Chaos still alive here. All 4 players alive. Looking pretty comfortable. They even have the house for themselves. Ninja peppering down bullets here and there. But they will have to leave the house area soon or enough because the circle will shift away. And they're barely making it inside the circle as well.
They will be. But Maximus, 3 players strong, coming from the southwestern side. They have the 7 kills, and they are still waiting and trying to pick the players that are on the backhand side because they have already heard the sound that has been in the fight. Fadi takes one down with that M4, 16 and 6x spray. So Team Prime, they are in a real trouble because now Fadi won't be allowing all these players to come in zone. But Fadi, on the other hand, needs to just heal himself up, and also the circle will be putting the same amount of damage as it will be on Team Prime.
Exactly. The circle will be dishing out quite a lot of damage. So you do not want to get caught out in the play zone. And yes, seems like finally blue zone is going to be unleashing on some of the players as well. But beautiful drop shot coming out from his side as well. Prime finally showing their presence in the game. Their dominance is on its way. Sane taken down from enemy lines. And finally Maximus out the game, out the equation, down and dusted. And Maximus are kind of sitting on the top leaderboards as well. So I'm pretty sure such kind of performance is going to be kind of shaky for them. They should have won this game if they won the top 3 position though. X Generation still alive in the game, peppering down bullets here and there. Don't really know where exactly the enemies are. So just trying to scout out as much as possible. But this game, pretty much it seems like it's pretty much for Team Chaos here.
Exactly, because 4 men strong, holding that broken walls that they have, and also just a few meters away, if they walk, they will be straight away into the goal. But yes, Team Prime, smart, has played it smart for him, has the first 4 first aid, and still waiting for the players from other teams to get eliminated. But it seems that his first aid will get exhausted soon, and maybe he will get the 3rd placement total point position as all in all. But look at that. In the live rank standing, we can already see Maximus securing that monstrous 17 kills in a match. That is humongous.
It's pretty much done for Smart. I don't think so he can make it inside the circle. No, he's not going to make it. He wants to win the race. Finally, he realized that it's pretty much a done game for him. Stops and tries to take a little shots here and there. And finally, he will be taken out by the blue zone. Unfortunate death there. And Team Chaos realize it's a 1-on-4 situation. The confidence is building up slowly and steadily. NFP Psycho finding himself in a good spot, making sure the position that he's getting for the late game, he's comfortable in using that as well. Bobbing and weaving here and there, left and right, peeking as well. But it seems like Psycho is not going to be stopping anytime soon. And finally, the final nail has been put in the coffin, and Team Chaos takes the chicken dinner in their hands. And what a way to show off, and what a way to style it.
Exactly, and they did deserve this chicken. They were waiting for it badly for a very long time. Total of 20 points. All is what they have been awarded and rewarded with in this match. Total of 5 kills and 1078 damage. Maybe they are less in numbers of total kills if we talk about this, but this will be a pedestal. This will be offshoot that they were waiting for, because from here they must be looking, and they are having an eye on the top 16 slot.
Exactly. Pretty much having an eye out for the top 16 slots. And overall, I mean, especially what we were talking about is like the top 16. We have been talking about this since a long time as well. But I really feel like over here a massive competition is also building up between the position of 4-3. I mean, pretty much the top 5. I feel like the teams that are in the top 5 as well, they need some consistent performance, because Maximus as well, if you remember in the start of the semifinals, Maximus was on top there, but then later on, slowly and steadily, they weren't really able to perform consistently, and they were taken down. So now I feel like Maximin wants the revenge back, and now the way they're playing, the previous game was pretty good from their side, pretty consistent play, but I'm pretty sure they need some more of those performance, or not
Yeah.
even just better. So Maximus have a lot of pressure on them, especially if they want to increase their repetition.
Exactly. So it will be a cherry on top for them if they do manage to perform and execute the same thing as you were mentioning. We'll talk about this later, but the MVP, the most valuable player from this match is Fadi from the sides of BE, and 7 kills into his name. 1042 damage is all what he has dished out. And Necro, this is all in all a very big number if we talk about the map of Sanhok.
Exactly. Pretty massive numbers, pretty massive stats from this lad. I mean, this is day 6 and day 2 of this. Days are slipping away, games are slipping away as well. 2 final games of the day will be in the front soon as well. 2 games are already done, and only 2 left for today. Which team will be able to make the comeback? Because today is the most important day of it all. And now we have BEMX pretty much Fadi as well on the top players. Of course, in the top with 7 kills and a lot of damage, 1042. I mean, that's a 4-digit right there.
Yeah, that is a 4-digit number, and a map of Sanhok, that eventually is a big number instead of that denotes and shows that this player is all in all capable of. And not only that, he has also been joined with Psycho from the sides of NFPxSky Esports, and players like RNG Teddy. Again and again, he has shown the caliber, the thing that he has been able to do. And this is a match ranking that we were waiting for. The X generation still on the top from this match. Team Caos, the chicken dinner, the sign, the symbol that you see. 5 kills is a number that they don't want to actually they actually want to increase in the next match maybe or so, but still a 20 point will be helping them to boost their total points all in all.
I mean, it's pretty much a tie between the first 2, right? But I mean, considering the fact that they've only gotten 20 points, I to be honest, personally, I don't really feel like it's enough. I feel like if you want to make a massive comeback from the bottom, you need decent points. For example, like 27, 28 points per game on all these 4 games. If you're gonna be doing that, then maybe you have a massive chance of coming back. But I mean, X Generation still managed to get 2nd place and still on first with 8 kills. I mean, that's a decent number right there. And we do like to see that this is the latter half of the page, from 9 to 16, and RBN, we did see this as well, kind of got eliminated early off. Portal Esports, one last man was making it alive. Insane was the one, but then he got taken down in the late game circle as well.
They were taken down. Portal Esports, to be very honest, they have disappointed me the 2 matches that they have played, because Portal Esports, when they played last time, they did took the chicken dinner in the very last match of Erangel, but I expected them a bit more glaring performance for this. I will talk about this, but this is the Oppo F19 Pro moments for this match that actually refreshes the memory, and the early fights, the early snaking action from the sides of FTE, where at a point it seemed that they might take down the players, but eventually they were eliminated.
Exactly, we're taken down. But then these are the Oppo F19 Pro moments, as you did mention, just to kind of refresh our memories, what exactly happened in the previous game. Sometimes you do forget some memorable moments, and they are here to show us, remind us that these were some incredible moments that happened. Saipo, in the end, I felt like, okay, maybe he has a chance, but in the end, the zone just kind of shifted away from him, and the zone was doing quite a lot of damage as well. The guns were blazing up upon him as well. It's just not really much you can do, especially don't really have a massive amount of breathing space. The overall ranking is on our board as well. Let's take a look at this. Team Cordy again on the top. I mean, pretty much they're not really playing in this one. So Team Cordy and Bublu have pretty much solidified their position on the top one, but the Slayers are slowly up as well, and we have MAXIMUSxFTN finally on 6th position. If they get some consistent performances in, even one chicken dinner with like 30 points, they're going to be moving up by quite a lot.
So I can only see 2 teams from the sides of Group B and D in the first of the chart, and once the course of the rest 2 matches takes into action, maybe we can see Portal Esports and NFPxSky Esports climbing up the ladder. But also not to forget teams like Renegades, Team Prime, Lost Esports, they have find themselves in the second half of the chart. All they just need to do is to at least make sure that they don't slip out from this ranking, and they will be finding out, because in the third half of the chart, from the 17 to 24, there will be some team from Group B and D that will be looking up to topple the number. And look at that, FTF Esports, after the exhaustion of 12 matches, they are with 70 points. So any team from the second half of the chart, take example TeamXquetta, just the 7 points is all what they want from the 2 matches, and they will topple them.
Exactly. I mean, toppling over each other, I mean, this is what you want to do, especially we have the Chosen 4 kind of close there, but I mean, it's like you are pretty much done with all your games, and these kind of moments, it does kind of sting. They were pretty close there. They were pretty close. But it's pretty much like Team Chosen 4 is out now. They are pretty much out. The teams that have played all 12 of their games, they are pretty much, done. And now the rest of the teams that we are seeing in our front of our eyes that haven't really got all 12 of their games in their pockets, they still have a massive chance of doing a comeback. For example,
exactly.
Team Chaos here, they're on 24th. Now, if they keep on doing good, if they keep on playing like the way they played in the previous game, I'm pretty sure a comeback is easily possible.
Exactly, man. Like 22 points in 2 matches, it is not much of a number, because in the last match itself, they secured 20 points when they just had that 5 kills. So imagine 8 kill or 10 kill chicken dinner eventually will shoot up the number, and we may see if Team Chaos repeat the same and emulate the same performance that they did. But teams like Brekar, RBN need to do something different, something more effort that requires more effort, because their point is very less, because just 28 and 30 points is what RBN and Breaker have respectively, also the 0x.
Exactly. And now we have Lord YT. This is the entire roster of Team Chaos and how they performed throughout the entire semifinals. And Lord YT, of course, I mean, leading the chart, leading their team up with as well, all the time.
Yeah.
And he has not really secured a lot of kills for himself. 3 kills on his back, and the rest of the squad is, of course, right in front of you guys. Damage as well for Taha, 142 only, 3 kills. I mean, some unfortunate moments have came in through for this team, but still, you have 2 more games going in up front as well. Maybe you'll be able to do that in those 2 games and get the numbers up.
They can pretty well, definitely, because confidence is all what you want, and the rhythm that the Team Chaos has got themselves up in the last match. Look at that, Taha. It seems that today is the only day that he has got the matches, because he has just played the 2 matches and 3 kills already into his name. So maybe this is a late thing that they have inducted the player Taha into the lineup, but still 2 games, 2 opportunities also left on the numbers on their cards. And as we just saw, 22 points is all what they need to close with that 70 point if it gets that cutoff. But you never know, that cutoff may increase to 75 or 80. Then it becomes trickier for all the teams that are from 16 to last, maybe to 28, 24, and 32.
Exactly. I mean, that's pretty much a good explanation right there. I mean, and now the main focus again. I'm gonna say it again. The main focus is top 16 teams that are still having a chance. Please take this last 2 games under consideration. These are the most important games of your life. Don't let them slip away. Try your best to stay alive till the end. I mean, they are trying. In the first few minutes, there's just not really much happening. We are seeing these teams kind of, looting up and then setting up for those late game situations, getting those vehicles for themselves as well, and then going in the center of the circle, setting up, situating up. That's pretty much what's happening in the first time. But even if you're able to rack some kills in the first time as well, then that's a good thing all the time.
Exactly, that has been happening in the course of the matches. But with this, we are done with the second game of the day, and we have seen some comebacks making in the frame. But we'll be heading towards the third game. But before this, we'll be heading with a very short little break.
Godzilla vs. Kong, all new collaboration, live now. In the latest version of PUBG Mobile, players may encounter titans during a match, just like in the movies. Let's learn more about the all-new game modes, shall we? Titan Strikes. The Titan Strikes mode introduces 3 titans to Erangel, Sanhok, and Livid. Godzilla and Kong move along designated routes across the map. Players can chase after them in vehicles, but if you get too close, you'll be knocked down and
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to PUBG Mobile Campus Championship Pakistan region, sponsored by Oppo F19 Pro, my best buddy friend Oppo F19. But now we have Phoenix Shivansh over here. So how you doing, man? I mean, kind of a change in the casters lineup over here, Phoenix. And I mean, yesterday you weren't really there, you know. But now, how you doing?
Yeah.
How are you feeling? The fresh air. Do you feel it?
Yeah, man, I can feel it as well as the pressure because now it's time for the end. It's time for the top 16. And we can see that we don't have the top 16 teams right now. Only 14 teams are playing this Miramar map. So, yeah, I think so. Now we usually witness very, very late fights in these in these Miramar maps. Now it's so. I think so. It's going to be very, very late because we have only 14 teams in the lobby.
Well, now we still have. Well, I mean, the teams are flying away. I am just wondering. Imagine if some teams want to go towards San Martin. It's like pretty much you're wasting like the first 20 seconds, or yeah, pretty much first 20 seconds just flying to the location, and then you're wasting the rest like 40 seconds looting up, and then you're utilizing the rest of the minutes to actually go inside the circle and situating yourself in the center. So pretty much in the Miramar map, I really feel like these kind of plain fly paths, especially all the way on the south, do screw up sometimes. But now the teams that are going towards San Martin, they're going to be having a little advantage, and they're going to be having a party as well.
PUBG gods were like, you know what, Necro, you were just mentioning about the San Martin area. Okay,
Here we go.
let us form a zone near the San Martin area. So, teams like the Slayers, they just land near the Minastal Sur or Los Higos area. So, they have to focus on those early rotations if they want to get some early kills. If we're talking about early kills, Maximus, they spotted down one team just below them. Hussey is the one who spotted down some of the players, and it seems like he dished out some amount of damage onto Lord Whitey. Lord Whitey somehow managed to survive that barrage, but for how long? Because Hussey is still in the same area.
Exactly. But still have, I mean, Maximus, you know, kind of having a great time, just rolling out here and there. And Maximus again, just take a look at this man. Hussey was the man in the end as well, you know, kind of playing it out pretty safe. And one thing I always admire about Hussey is like he prones out of nowhere, you know, in situation as well when you don't really need a prone. He prones there, but hold up. He just shuts my mouth off with that incredible spray, that laser beam precise dot spray, and I am absolutely amazed. Hussey, you just shut my mouth off there.
Same here, bro. We both are sailing in same boat. Hussey, oh! If you could have connected those shots, you could have got one knock. But at this motion, Team Chaos, they just want to create a chaos because now they are hungry for that sweet, sweet revenge. Mars, he has a Desert Eagle. One shot can knock down one player if you're going to connect onto his head. I think so it's not a Desert Eagle. I'm wrong. And we talk about this. Both the players are literally very close to each other, sticking together as well as sticking with the plan. But Hussey with his incredible, okay, I thought it was a nade. Hussey is going down, and yup, here he goes. The kill confirm is going to be there, and they'll enjoy some decent amount of loot.
Exactly. Enjoying some decent amount of loot. I mean, Hussey was kind of pinned down in those enemy lines. He didn't really have much breathing space as well. It was like a 4-on-1 situation. Finally, the rest of the teammates from Maximus have made it back, trying to cover him, but it's a little too late. Satan trying to dish out a lot of damage. The final man has been taken down as well. Team Chaos this time, the team that got chicken dinner in the previous game, got eliminated off early, and this is pretty much a disappointing factor. I'm pretty sure the IGL of the team is going to be so disappointed in the team after that one.
You know what? A bad outing from the side of Team Chaos. Now, if you talk about Team Lost Esports, I would love to talk about this team because they are on the verge of elimination. Because why I'm talking like this, because they are at the 15th position with total 70 points. Right now, FTFesports also sharing the same amount of points, but the difference is they are at the 16th position. So before the second game, Ankit and we were talking about the difference between the teams who are at the 12th till the 18th position. The point difference is not that huge, so you can climb up the ladder very easily, but you will slip down very easily as well.
Yeah, I mean, it does kind of make sense, if you're going to be climbing up a ladder pretty fast, even in real life, if you're going to be climbing something real fast, of course you will slip down pretty badly as well. But if you
Damn.
make it at the first, then the satisfaction will be pretty much great as well. So I mean, it's your choice if you want to take it slow or fast. It just depends on what kind of nature you have. And most of these players are pretty aggressive, they like to go. Most of the teams are pretty aggressive as well. So it just depends on how all your four team or how the four of the player in the team, is their synergy tidying up in the aggressive way, or is their synergy good in the passive way?
You know what? Your gameplay style has to be like the nature of animal chameleon, right? Just change your color according to the situation, right? If you think
Okay,
like,
well.
Necro, it's like if you think that this is the time I have to aggress, this is the time we have to aggress, then just do it. If you think that we have to play passive, just go with the passive style gameplay. You know what? Chameleon is the best example you can talk about, because that's one of the most incredible animal present in this Earth, on this planet Earth.
Well, I mean, I like how you think about that. If you think chameleon is probably the most incredible or the best best animal in planet Earth.
My man.
I mean, it's like, okay, the thing
Yeah.
about it changing colors does fascinate me, but I don't really think it's like one of the best animals. We have way much more better than that. Well, let's focus on the game for now, not the animals, okay? We do know the
True.
players inside this game are animals and they're looking for the blood, but let's focus on the bloodthirsty animal right in front of us rather than in the nature. And for now, NFP kind of moving in close as well. We do know X Generation won that top 16. I mean, they're pretty much on the top 16 already, but they're just pretty hungry. Renegades kind of crumbling down like dominoes by one. And somewhere down the line, Renegades as well on the struggling faces back again.
And that's I don't like about them. But let's see how they're gonna move up, how they're gonna move forward. That's the main thing. If we're talking about the gameplay style and comparing it with those animals, I have another example. Can I, Necro, please?
Well, I mean, sure.
Like, okay, so if you are engaged in multitude of fights, you have to behave like an octopus, right? He can control 8 things at a single time, like, because he has 8 legs, we can say. So you have to be so
tentacles.
good. Tentacles, my bad. Come on, you know what?
Legs.
I'm not
Oh,
a
I mean,
veteran.
it's like by calling it legs, you actually insulted the octopus there. But I'm gonna hold on here. Let's focus on the game again while we have XQuetta. I mean, kind of playing it safe. Overall, this map, I really like that the observers finally show us the map so we can paint a picture. The teams on the bottom right here. We have Max kind of moving up as well, taking their sweet little time, looting there on the bottom side, finally making move inside the map as well. While same goes with GR as well, kind of on the bottom side. 2 teams are not inside these lobbies. That means that's a massive loss for them. Time and tide waits for none, and this is where the game starts as well. It's not going to be waiting for you if you're not going to be making it back in the lobby in time. As FTN as well, kind of back in the zone. Sometimes these late game rotations can pay off without any doubt. They can pay off, but most of the times you do get caught off guard because there's some zone guardians, there's some guardian angels of the zone that are guarding the zone. If they see you passing them by, they will take you down.
You know what? They are not the guarding angels. They are the demons, right? Just pretending that they are angels.
I mean,
But-
even angels sometimes, they can be pretty.
Oh,
If you go against them, they can take you down.
oh yeah. You know what? If they're gonna mess up with them, they are going to reply with the same reaction, right?
Mhm.
With the same action, basically. But at this moment, Maximus secured 4 kills, but lost 1 player. That's still a good trade. But if you're talking about trades, Ash is the one, knocks out 1 player of the Slayers. Assad, he is in a bit of trouble, so as his teammate Timur. He needs a revival, and Toma as well as Defaulter for the backup.
Toma defaulted for the backup there. Toma making it slowly towards his teammate. Just real life moves out of moving vehicle. That was kind of a little unnecessary there, punching him out, getting the loot for himself. and now finally getting it back in the zone as well. I mean, they do have Weekle for themselves, but there's 3 people, and the Weekle is only a 2-seater. What do you think, Phoenix? How are they going to be making it inside the circle?
You know what? Difficult question. Now it is totally depends on them how they gonna do that. As I just mentioned, you have to be clever like a fox, because
One can get in the trunk.
yeah, one can get in the trunk, but that is risky, isn't
Pretty
it?
much. Yeah, pretty much understandable. You're next to the gas can, especially when you're in a battlefield where there's a lot of bullets just flying past you. You don't want to be next to a gas tank, especially.
Yeah.
And it will be the first thing to blow up, and that means you will be the first person to blow up in the car as well. So try and be safe. Talking about be safe, make sure whenever you're going outside, use masks, stay sanitized, stay safe. Pretty much don't try to go outside of your houses because things are way worse in the outside world. But for now, as we take a look at Team Prime as well, kind of taking shots here and there, that Eagle Eye finally spots one enemy out in the far fray. Was only able to connect one shot, and Lost is there right in the right lines of Team Prime. And I'm pretty sure they do realize about it, but they just do not want to over-exaggerate on that fact.
Totally agree with the point. Meanwhile, Mushroom received a lot of damage, down to only 40% HP. Lost Esports, they are struggling at this moment. The first game I casted, they were not looking that good, but right now they are at the same situation. Let's see what different plans they have, what type of strategy they are going to use so that they'll get out of from that difficult position and to focus on different strategy to collect some decent amount of points from this particular match. If we talk about Maximus, still sticking basically with the same stuff, just looting those individual compounds, holding at the edge of the zone, clearing out some area, gatekeeping for the teams who are moving inside the circle while taking some amount of damage from the blue zone. That's the perfect strategy, and they are literally so good with that.
Exactly. Pretty much looking good for now, Prime. Finally on that aggressive pager, finally on that aggressive way. They have turned the aggressive mode on from their side, but Killers is the man who's leading the charge. There's a guy right in the front lines. I'm pretty sure he heard Believe move here and there. He's still not sure where exactly Believe is. Wanted to check on top, but Believe is not found. That nade, it might be really close, but still kind of missing the mark. Now they pretty much have his exact position as well, making it from the back lines, taking him down. Beautiful execution. One guy was in the window, so the guy inside the house was kind of distracted looking at the window, and then the guy just makes it from the front side, from the door, and takes him down. This is what I'm talking about, a well-executed strategy.
True, well executed, and you know what? It was so good. The way they finished that fight, so beautiful to watch. But right now, holding those compound is also important. Satan, he switched to an M416, which is one of the best gun in the PUBG Mobile. You can use that gun in middle range as well as close and sometimes long range fight. But we have 2 airdrops, the twins, literally very close to each other. But in the airdrop 3, you have an MK14 with a level 3 kit and a ghillie suit. So now, I would love to ask one question from you now, Necro, my bad. So, right, like, you know what?
Oh man,
the main thing is.
Listen, I kind of feel bad that you called me Ankit there. It's like we have known each other way much more than you have known Ankit, and you still call me Ankit. It's like Ankit took over my place, and I do kind of feel bad. So now I'm gonna take over you as well. I'm gonna go and carry on the casting here. So now we have youngsters as well, kind of trying to scout the area around, and Team FTE. Well, still kind of, the teammate just ran him over. Luckily, you don't really have a damage there, so he's kind of lucky. Imagine if it was turned on, if the damage was turned on, then they didn't really notice, they didn't really know, and they just do that for a troll, and he actually gets knocked out. That would be pretty funny.
Yeah, that would be pretty funny. But yay, I finally got the call. I finally got the chance to cast.
You stole it away.
Yeah, I stole it away. You know, I'm a sneaky man. But where was I? Like, I was talking about, would you pick a ghillie suit in the Miramar map?
No, I mean, yeah, you do have ghillie suit in Miramar map. I mean, if you're talking about the green ghillie suit, then no.
No, the brown one.
Oh, hell yeah, I would. Hell yeah, I
Okay.
would. I mean, it's pretty much like the color of the sand, right? And why would you not pick it up? I mean, there are some places where there's like little dry grass as well, for example, here. And in those places, you can go and hide in perfectly. Unless if there's an enemy right close to you, then it is pretty much like, it just gets out there.
True. But let's talk about the zone curveball towards the players who are near the southern side of the map. We can see a zone favoring the northern side of the water treatment area. Only two teams inside the safe zone, inside the circle. Other teams, they still have to move inside the circle. Let's see how they're going to do it. But if we talk about the airdrop 4, we again have an MK14, but this time you will get a 8 times and a level 3 kit. So MK14 with an 8x scope. This is the best combination you'll ever get in a Miramar map.
Yeah, that's for sure. MK14 and 8x scope, without a doubt. In those longer ranges, it just strides down your enemies. But I'm a person who uses like a red dot on the MK14 and then just uses the auto fire mode, like full auto mode on that gun. And then I just started using it like just rat-a-tat-tat-tat, each and every single one right in front of me. I mean, it's pretty much like you only need 4 bullets to take a man down. And if you just shred all 4 bullets in him, it's pretty much done. Imagine a full auto, only 4 bullets needed to take an enemy down. You don't really have to work much hard there. All you need to do is just land 4 bullets, and no matter what, even if you're bad at recall control, I feel like you'll still be able to at least land 4 bullets there. But you still have Osama kind of using that bolt action mode and showing it off. And this time, he's showing his dominance as well. Team Prime caught off guard out in the open. 2 players have already been taken down. Smart making his way slowly and steadily. Osama, the reloads here, barely wants to make it as well, but took a little longer to reload. And Osama missed his opportunity to confirm the kills. And he's gonna be shaking his head after that one. Almost connects that as well. He's missing quite a lot of shots here and there.
Man, those bolt action
Oh my
rifles.
god!
What is that? Whoa,
Oh my
man.
god, that's an unfortunate moment.
I'm crying.
Osama. Oh my god, if I was in his position, I would have threw my phone away. I'm not even gonna lie, I would have thrown my phone away. I would have been so mad. I would have been mauling at this point in time. But that's an unfortunate moment. It does happen, Sometimes you don't really have the day. You're not really able to connect all the shots. NFPxSky as well, under fire, finally under pressure. Smoke's thrown in from his side. Kathir trying his best to kind of get his teammate back online. Those smokes are not going to be providing him a lot of cover because his teammate is on a downhill and the smoke will just crawl away.
True. Meanwhile, Osama, the kill confirmation by the blue zone, man. This man could not able to connect a single bullet. That was heartbreaking. But right now, another thing which is heartbreaking is the Slayers taking exit at the 12th position. Another team got eliminated from the lobby, and that is Team FTE. NFPxSky doing pretty good. The revival is going to be there because Ash, he is begging for a revival because he's bleeding out slowly and steadily. Khati is he's the one still taking care of his teammate perfectly. Halsey is there to take care of as well as to control the situation. Right now, inside the circle, that's the best thing. That's the best thing. If you are inside the safe zone, you are pretty safe.
If you're inside the safe zone, you are pretty much safe, but not from the enemies because they have their eyes each and every single variant. We've seen in the past as well, some of these lads have some eagle eyes on them. I'm telling you, but look at the circle shift. In No Man's Land, barely some teams are making it, including Portal Esports, and then we have BE as well, kind of making it inside the circle, barely as well. So B is, of course, NFPxSky. Now, they're on the edge of the circle. Now, they have 2 choices here. Either they can hold on to the mountain that they have right now, NFPxSky, or they can try and move on the left side. Maybe they will get a little bit more cover for themselves. But I feel like staying on the mountain is like way much more better choice than to move out in the open and try and go for the compounds. But again, if they have a better strategy, if they have that many smokes going up for themselves, that would be the choice. But if we finally see a fight breaking down, youngsters in a fight, Dante took quite a lot of fire in that fight as well. Danny finally taking down youngsters. Seems like they are in a little bit of problem here. NFPxSky as well joining the fray. And finally, a little bit of shots being taken from here and there. They're trying to find at least the opening on the players of Renegades, but Renegades are already putting in a lot of work, and NFPxSky needs to make it inside the circle as well. How are they going to? Goes down again to the zone damage. Boneless should have used a bandage first, then maybe a first aid could have come into play. And wow, Renegades are just turning the tables in their favor.
Oh yeah, they certainly did. TeamXquetta take an exit from the lobby. A lot of players going down by the blue zone. Oh, that was a critical grenade from the side of Psycho, confirming those kills, those crucial knocks into the kill points. Lost Esports and none is another name who take an exit from the lobby. Now, one thing I just want to mention is that the place at the Team Prime, basically the area Team Prime is holding, is very, very crucial, because you have the ridge, you have the mountain, you have the height advantage, but you are exposed from the sidelines too.
Exposed from the sidelines as well. The youngsters under crazy fire need to find themselves a safe spot for now. That ridge isn't really looking that safe. We have another team, Prime Gaming, kind of under a lot of fire. That Molotov's finally going to be burning him down, taking him down, almost looking like a roasted chicken. But finally, his teammate is trying to help him out as well. NFP on aggressive page, smart. We do know this man is pretty smart in engaging those fights as well. Realizes there's one guy trying to flank from the left side. Spots his flanks out, takes a little bit of shots here and there. The guy out in the open from NFPxSky isn't really looking good. Finally, he has been taken out as well. You should never be over-aggressive. Never should step out of your boundaries as well. And this is a prime example. You should never step out of your boundaries, because it's pretty much you're giving your opponent an open space to work around.
True. Killers, on a flank angle, but you know what? He worked as a lurker. Literally seeked all the attention of the players of NFPxSky, and Muslim is the one secured both the kills instantly. Team Prime with 9 kills onto their names, but 2 players got knocked out. Youngsters on the roll. They are doing pretty good. Look at the position of the players of Youngsters. One player goes down. Hassan leading the charge with his AKM facing Mujrim. Mujrim, takes one down. Could not able to take another. But Youngsters also goes down. Team Prime Youngsters. These are the teams who take an exit. And now we are down to only 3 teams.
Down to only 3 teams. While we have Portal Esports Nocto as well, spawning out the players right in front of them. Just X Generation is the squad. Thug as well out in the open. X Generation finally found themselves some cover. Nocto takes a heavy fire back in the time. Thankful for his reaction time that he makes it back in cover just in the nick of time. Nocto opting out for that rotation as well. Insane is the man driving. Hopefully he's not going absolute insane while driving this buggy, because Nocto is still healing himself up, moving out the... Oh my god, he just exit out a moving buggy. So he took quite a lot of damage in that process as well. He should never be doing that. Never move out of a moving vehicle. And that is going to be, you know, kind of damaging for you. I mean, without any problem, why do you want to take a damage if you are going to be safe in those kind of moments? So try not to take that damage. Try to play safe as much as you can. X Generation finally on a move from that mountain as well. When they're going to be trying to move from that mountain, it's pretty much they're going to be exposed from all across the angles. Maximus still alive in such late game. Psycho finally makes it inside the compound. They will probably use this as a temporary cover. But Psycho is nowhere to be, Psycho's teammates are nowhere to be found. Finally, Raymond decides to move in as well, but absolutely gets beamed out by Saiyan, and seems like Saiyan this time is just an absolute laser beam. So you better not step out of your cover.
True. Satan doing a lot of job for the team. Dog, his vehicle got toppled down, but he is still standing on his feet. Satan, come on, man. You have to take him down, and yup! Whoa, incredible spray from his side.
Maximus just decimating the squad and right in front of them. X Generation. The world is colliding upon them. But Thug finally makes it back to his teammate. Psycho is going to be the medic for now. He will probably get Thug up as well. While take a look at G-Pan, he's kind of stuck out in the open. He cannot really make a massive move. If he does, he's going to be exposing his body a little too much. Insane makes it back to his teammate. Knocked out all out in the open. Pan as well spots him out finally. Pan needs to make sure that there are getting contestants even from the left line. If you're going to be overexposing your body a little too much, that's going to be a little detrimental. But Pan missed quite a lot of shots in that fight, and you cannot be, and you are not affording those. You are not supposed to. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to connect all those kind of shots, especially in such a crucial moment. You cannot afford to make any mistakes.
But that was so good from the side of Maximus. Now, again, insane last minute surviving from the side of Portal Esports. His position has been compromised. He is hiding inside the smoke as well as behind the burst out vehicle. Satan just on a flank angle going to take him down. What do you think? Is he going to use a utility, or he is going to take him down with
That flashbang.
Okay.
Well, I mean, the flashbang's not really going to be able to do much, especially such long range. He did use like one kind of nade, Nocto spotted out, and yes, final nail in the coffin put in by Satan. And we, Satan finally, what a dominating performance from the side of Satan. The way he was beating out players on top of that hill, this man just looked so unstoppable. In a single game, 1,919 damage. I mean, that's pretty impressive. Maximus coming back strong, and I'm pretty sure they are eyeing out for that top 3 spot.
True, they're certainly eyeing out for that top 3 spot, but they are looking also very, very confident in this match. You know what? Taking down the enemies while they are moving as well as while they are rotating is not an easy task, but they did that so perfectly. I'm talking about Satan. He did that so perfectly. He was so precise with his aim. His aim was so good that he take down not 1 but 2 enemies instantly.
Exactly, not 1 but 2 enemies instantly taken down by him. I mean, first almost took down Psycho as well. Then he took out Thug. And then those sprays were just absolute beauty. Like, I was actually like, oh my god, this man is absolutely unstoppable. While on the other side, when we spectated the players of X Generation, he just absolutely missed out all the shots on the guy who was standing on the tank, and then later on just got back to safety. Unfortunately, in those kind of situations, you're not supposed to miss any shots because you cannot afford to make any mistakes, because you've already made a lot of mistakes, especially if you're going to be toppling that up with a massive mistake as well. I mean, that knock could have been the game saver for him. That knock could have bought out a lot of time, and that could have helped him out quite a lot, but he just missed a lot of shots there. Finally, we have the player from X Generation, G-Pan, the MVP of the game, 1,000 damage. I mean, that's a perfect number right there. It stopped on 1,000. I feel like it's probably my first time since a longer time. I mean, since a long time I've seen this, like, and damage just kind of solidified on the 1,000.
True. You know what? He was like sticking with the perfectancy. Like, you can say, what the word? I just forgetting because the way I just forgot the word because the way he executed those skills was so good. Because you know what? If you want to knock out one player, it requires 100 damage, and if you want to finish him, it also requires 100 damage. So 200 total damage to take down one enemy. It shows that Pan literally did the same thing.
Did the same thing pretty much. Well, now, I mean, Pan, the man was kind of, in the end, he was just playing out so safe,
Yeah.
He saw that his teammates just absolutely crumbled down. Satan was just beaming them out the game. And then he decided, I'm just going to keep on smoking myself. As long as I have those smokes, I'm going to be staying inside those. And when they fade away, we'll see how things goes in the future. And I really like what he did there. He tried to stay there for as long as possible for his team. Maybe, hopefully, he was like, okay, if the guy with the 3rd team goes down, that means he will secure himself a 2nd position, which is not a bad thinking. It's a pretty good thinking, especially if you're in a tricky spot like that. You will have to try and go for the safer play. But in these match rankings, again, only 14 teams were playing. The rest 2 were kind of not really able to make in time. I'm not really sure what exactly happened there. But Team Chaos here on the 9th position. I mean, Team Chaos was the first team. They were the first team to get eliminated as well. But somewhere down line, at least they got a few points here and there, so they're able to come up on 9th position. And Lost Esports, again, not really able to do much. XQuetta as well. Team FTE, the Slayer, 0x. Same thing. Storyline is looking pretty same.
Yep, storyline is looking pretty same for these teams who just secured 1 point. But let's refresh our memories with these Oppo F19 Pro movements. And this is the moment where Renegades could not able to perform well. They just fall apart. They just got torn apart by the players of NFPxSky. So good. Team Prime, they were in a prime action from the starting of the match, securing some individual kills. And look at this. Using the height advantage perfectly, this is the best example.
Exactly, I mean, best example and the best possible outcome as well. And especially, I mean, Team Prime, the way they played it out in the end, you know, things were not really looking good in their favor. I feel like they should have, I mean, in the end, again, you have the zone playing it as well against you sometimes. But the way Team Prime positioned in the possible situation, they had pretty good positioning. But in the late circle, they opted out for a real bad position. They went there and they just kind of got stuck there because there was already a team there. When they were already rotating there, they got caught off guard in the open ground. And Team Prime didn't really realize such kind of things. And instead, it was like they didn't really care about those. They just kept moving. And this is what exactly sometimes happens. If you know that there's danger lingering around, you should maybe take a few steps back.
You have to, you know what? You have to behave like a liquid. It doesn't matter in which container you are going to fill up the container perfectly, going to take that shape. Just, you have to remold yourself perfectly so that you will perform well in any situation. But let's talk about the stuff, the main important thing, and that is teams who are at the second page of the overall ranking. So Portal Esports, they are qualified freestyle. They also qualified for the grand finals, so as the players of Team TES and Team Prime. The teams who are in a bit of trouble, we can see kind of in a bit of trouble: Renegades, RZ, Lost, and FTF. FTF, they have no games left, I think, so this is their last game. So now, how many points does the team have who is on the 17th position as well as on 18th?
Well, I mean, teams that's on the 17th position, it really depends on how the latter half of the players have been doing. And it seems like not really much movement on the other side as well. XQuetta, I mean, yeah, the previous game they were looking pretty bad. But X Generation as well, I mean, moved up quite a lot, decent amount. And a youngster still down below, pretty bad, looking not really bad. They only have one last game left for themselves. And this one last game is going to be so crucial for all these teams, including youngsters. We have X Generation coming in as well, XQuetta as well. This last and final game is going to be so important for all these three teams. The rest of the teams are, it's like pretty much a gone case at this point. Team Caos can maybe make it back if they just have a banger of a game, but still the chances are pretty minimal.
True. Now, the teams like TeamXquetta and X Generation, they still have a chance, as you just mentioned earlier. So the teams, they have 64 and 63 points respectively, 7 and 6 points, basically 7 and 8 points far behind from the top 16 position. One good game will lead you to the grand finals. Now, this is the last game for today, and this will decide which are the teams going to, move forward for the grand finals, to the grand finals. Now we have the Maximus team card, and we can see Fadi has the highest KPM amongst his teammates.
Exactly. I mean, he was doing pretty great thing, and now I think you meant to say there that the upcoming game is going to be the final game, and it does make sense, you know. Of course, as I did mention as well, the upcoming game is probably going to be the most important game of this entire thing, this entire semifinals, and I mean, especially these kind of moments, you know, these kind of moments are going to be really thrilling, as I did mention, for those three teams, X Generation, XQuetta, and even including Team Chaos. This final game is going to be deciding their fate. And you better not just give that up. I'm pretty sure she wants. Even you have a smile on your face, and you do know what's going down.
Yeah, you know what? The pressure is so high. You know what? Not in the players who are on the verge of elimination, but on us as well, because we have high expectation from these teams. They were literally grinding from the start. They are here fighting and literally playing so good. Now this is the last game. All up to them.
All.
पाकिस्तान में पहली बार PUBG मोबाइल का जुनून पहुंचा है कॉलेज कैंप।
Are you keeping it real? I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh, what's the word on the sea? Kicking up the dust, you know what I mean. We got a good thing going. We got a good thing going.
PUBG Mobile, Godzilla vs. Kong. All new collaboration live now. In the latest version of PUBG Mobile, players may encounter titans during a match, just like in the movies. Let's learn more about the all new game modes, shall we? Titan Strikes. The Titan Strikes mode introduces 3 titans to Erangel, Sanhok, and Livid. Godzilla and Kong move along designated routes across the map. Players can chase after them in vehicles, but if you get too close, you'll be knocked down and take damage. When Titans get ready to unleash a heat ray, the system will prompt players to leave the red zone marked on the minimap. Players equipped with high-level armor receive reduced damage from the heat ray. Titans will absorb energy which emanates gradually from the earth. Once the energy reaches a certain threshold, Titans release it and create Titan crystals around them. Different types of Titan crystals provide different effects. Erangel's blue Titan crystals are special throwable items that players can equip. They knock back and burn enemies who are behind cover. Sanhok's gold Titan crystals enhance players' abilities, making you run faster and jump higher. Livik's red Titan crystals give players the ability to detect enemies nearby for a brief period of time. These enhancement items give players an edge in battle. Use them and bring the chicken dinner home. With the help of Titan crystals, players have even more unique tactics to achieve victory. Godzilla and Kong roam Erangel and Sanhok respectively, and players may bump into them on Spawn Island. Players can preview the Titan's route on the minimap, along with Apex Cybernetics, and low, mid, and high-level monster settlements. Apex Cybernetics are scattered along the Titan's route, which contains many valuable supplies. However, players can only enter the facility after a Titan has destroyed the base. Players that arrive early will not be able to get into the highly fortified Apex camp. At the same time, defeating different monster settlements rewards good supplies. Monster settlements are mainly occupied by lizards and crabs. Players can use a diversion to divide and conquer. The monsters are...
Are you keeping it real? I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh, what's the word on the sea? Kicking up the dust, you know what I mean. We got a good thing going. We got a good thing going on.
PUBG Mobile.
Welcome back, good-looking people. How are you all doing on this wonderful day? This is PUBG Mobile Campus Championship, Pakistan region, sponsored by Oppo F19 Pro. Power up your game. With me, joined now this time is Ankit Sharma. A little switcheroo again here, but it was good. It was definitely good to see Phoenix Shiwanj back on the track because he wasn't there yesterday, you know.
Yeah.
Finally, to see him back on the track, it's a good thing. But now, previous game, Maximus took it. Seems like they're on the ladder to success. They're on the ladder to top 3. What do you think? What are your thoughts? Are they going to be able to make it there, or some kind of circumstances will stop them?
So it is a trigger situation for now because the last match will be playing both the teams, the Slayers and obviously the Maximus. The top 2 slots, obviously the Bablu and TeamXquetta has already been acquired by them. So now remains the 3rd and 4th slot, and the last game both the team are gonna try hard and topple each and everyone else because the point is not much less between them. But also we just saw teams like TeamXquetta and X Generation are lying in that region, in that area where they are just not comfortable because they just want to find themselves in the top 16, and this will be the last game where the top 16 slot and the SAT all together will be it will be sealed.
Exactly, the top 16, the final game, and these 3 teams that we were talking about, XQuetta, and including there are some teams that are on a come up as well. It's going to be pretty much a tough competition for those lads, and if they want to make it there, this game is going to be the one that will decide their fate. And they will have to play good.
Indeed.
They will have to play consistent no matter what. No kind of mistakes will be allowed in this game. If you screw up at the start, it's pretty much done.
Exactly. And the flight path from the area of Georgeville down to the area of Sosno race. So, Necro, the same flight path, I guess, that we witnessed in the first match. The only difference was that the flight path, it is from north to south. It was reversed that time. It was from south to north, but it dominated completely on the western side. Then the circle was on the western side, so maybe again the circle might go towards the western side, because then we just saw some teams were actually faltering down, because some teams like to go towards the Yasnaya Poliana area or maybe towards Mansion, Shelter, Prison, and that seemed unglidable. For now, it's also is unglidable. If they take the help of Buggy or maybe the US or those vehicles, that can be done, but in that situation also they will be losing that important time.
That's for sure. Time's pretty much important, especially when you just exit the plane fly path. Time is
Oh.
really important in those kind of situations. Portal Esports going for military area. The circle's not really on them, but not really far away as well. So
Yeah.
not going to be disappointed with their choice this time, including Prime as well, going for those Georgeville apartments. Now, I feel like Prime is going to be the only team that will take their sweet little time looting, because there's no one really next to him.
They will be, because I don't see any other player on the backhand side, but one team might be challenging them, and that will be of Rules Breaker Tamur. I can already see him looting the weapon of 7.62 mm, but I can already see some runovers being trying to execute it from the sides of X Generation, a team that is in that sword line, a team that is on that threshold, I would say, because they just need that close to 7 to 8 points, because still the team that is sitting on the 16th spot is with that 70 points. So all they just need to do is to at least get one more point more than to what the team at 16 is holding with.
Exactly. Overall standings right in front of us again. And let
Yeah.
me remind you back that the top 16 is the most important places over here. We have FTF moved up, Lost Esports as well, kind of moving up. Renegades on the 13th place, then Team Prime on 12th. Now the teams that are on the come up, we have X Generation as well, XQuetta kind of joining the fray as well. And I want to see if they going to be able to take the places that FTF and Lost Esports have here, or are they just going to be staying at where they are? If they're going to be getting an early casualty, that is not going to be looking good, especially for their squad.
Yeah.
Finally seems
It
like
will be.
XQuetta pushing up the ladder here, not really able to find anyone. Clone is going to be the man to guard that staircase. Clone as well does realize the situation, going to be making a new position, getting himself a new position, but this position got him killed. Maybe he should have stayed in the spot that he had earlier, because it was guarding him from all across the angles.
Maybe. Then things could have had its own narrative. But for now, they have been eliminated, and it's pretty much done for them if we have to talk about it. So many of the dreams will be making, but some dreams will be shattered as the teams are progressing, as the teams are taking the fight. Also, we are into the city of Pachinki, the heart of Erangel, as we already know, because Team FTE, all the three players, Usama, Reback, Paraguay, up against the players of the Slayers. So the Slayers on the third spot with the 152 points are having their fight with STDX, and also the players that are chasing them on the second, third, and fourth and fifth slot. And one team, that is FTE, they are making their way to the top 16. So two different fights with two different intentions are being fought.
Exactly. Two different fights in the same battlefield. Interesting outcome will be there. FTF, the team that is barely hanging on the cliff as well. This game is going to be important for them. If they manage to screw this up, it's pretty much the team below them will take them over. So this is an important game for them, and they cannot just let it go. Especially Team Slayers is right next to them, and taking the fact in consideration, Team Slayers is in the top 3. So we do know Team Slayer is an incredible team, and you do not want to clash against the Alpha Titan.
Exactly, the clash of the titans happening in the area of Pochinki still, and even fight, I would say, because both the teams are with the three-man roster, so none of the team are already holding with that numbers advantage. So it will be all down to them how they strategize and how they try to engulf and fool the players. If I have to talk about the strategies, all in all, or maybe the gun power, if they go with that. So this is a fight in the area of Pochinki. Still, Slayer, Rahi has been an absolute top spot, top-notch performance. He has been stunning throughout the season, and just because of that, he has been guiding his team throughout this close, and they have made it down to the semifinals. They are still on that closing with that third and fourth slot, but with this end of this match, they must be eyeing to close on that third spot.
Exactly. They will be eyeing to close that third spot. FTF still looking here and there, trying to spot someone out. Doesn't seem like it's going to be that easy of a task here. While we still have Maximus kind of playing this situation out pretty safe. Rule breakers as well, spotting out the rotations happening here and there though, but not really being aware, not really being extra cautious of the surroundings. Seems like Toma took quite a lot of damage in that fight as well. And this is why you should be almost like aware of your surroundings almost all the time, because that would be helping you out. There's a guy right outside this building, and hopefully Toma hears him crawling around, because he was just a little slithery snake. And Toma, if he's not gonna be aware of his position. Now, what Toma should actually realize here is that there's a smoke wall built. And why is the smoke wall built exactly? If he realizes the fact that smoke wall is built because one player crossed over, he would know that there is someone next to him and he should be cautious. But Toma for now seems like he's pretty unknown of his position.
Exactly, unknown of the position of Uzair, because he has been thrown down for a long, but I can already see Hassan has been knocked down, and it seems that Danny also goes down. So one by one the player from youngsters are being pincered down. Now it is a fight for survival for the youngsters, because they don't want themselves to go down that easy. But rules breaker defaulter has also been pincered and done, and one player from their side will be finished off, and he was just trying to cook that nade. You just cannot afford to have such strategies if the players are really pincering them down, and with this it seems that it will be a demise for the youngsters in a moment.
Will be pretty much a demise for the youngsters there.
Oh,
But yes, finally, as we were talking about their demise, and it seems like it has finally hit them. Youngsters taking out the equation. Unfortunate start for them as well. Rules breaker, well, finally making their flag up in the sky, already getting a massive squad elimination for themselves. 12 teams in the game, and only 43 players alive in the first zone. I mean, these are some massive elimination, considering the fact that there's two teams not playing currently. And I don't really know exact reason why they're not playing in the game for now, but two teams currently are not in the game. So
yeah,
that means we were in the game with just 14 teams.
yeah. Exactly. Maybe some teams might have given up that hope to qualify because they were so down on the chart. But let's focus on those teams that are really fighting up. The fight is still in that stalemate situation in the area of Pochinki. The player have repositioned, have realigned themselves, but still none of the players from each side are just trying to over-aggress or overexpose themselves. So this is a test of patience.
Exactly. The test of patience. Which team will hold on to their position for a longer time? Pretty much a stared-on competition, but I feel like they could have utilized this time either situating themselves up better inside the late-game zone, or either, just utilize this time on looting instead of just staring at each other. One team can definitely back out from this fight if they want to, but for now it seems like none of them want to take that back step from this kind of position, which is understandable because they're almost in the center of the circle in the Pochinki area, and the Pochinki area seems pretty much in the center. So it does make sense why you do not want to move from your initial spot.
It does, and that's the reason they have still glued themselves on the area of Pochinki. And maybe as soon as the circle makes a shift, we might see some of the more teams trying to close down in the same area, because the circle taking the Pochinki as its center has already made it shift. Maybe I would bless to see if, and it would really a feast for me to see, because all the time I wait for the circle to end towards the area of Pochinki, and already I can see the players from the sides of BE NFPxSky Esports are also trying to approach towards that area of Pochinki. Also, in the same vicinity, in the same proximity, players from Maximus have been spotted down. Psycho, you just need to find yourself up because Halsey's mini stab shot, we have seen in the past that his mini stab shot is quite deadly.
Yeah, pretty much sad stuff there. Well, I mean, well, the main problem over here is that, okay, I'm gonna hold on to my words for now. Fight's breaking down between here. Finally, the silence has broken down, and one kill is flying here and there. Osama was taken down from FTF, but where we have Max as well, they already have gotten themselves a casualty, and Paraboy was the one to get that knock and to get that kill for himself, and now seems like Paraboy is on a move somewhere else. Osama again taken down, and it seems like NFP Psycho is just not going to let him move away from his position.
Exactly, not holding on to position areas and still glued to the same position, and there is what they have been strategized. And Usama is still beating off. He will be given revival, so a knock again and again coming from both the sides. But now Paraboy with that flank angle, a knock is already on its way. But Asad, a good retaliatory fire, and this was the most needed thing. With this, Dreed has been bled off. That means the two players surviving from the sides of Slayers, so they have to be much cautious because on the backhand side of Pochinki, where the two warehouse are already stationed, I can see the players for NFP are already into the frame.
Pretty much. Paraboy taken down. In this situation for now, it seems like table flips again. If Paraboy's kill will be confirmed, then FTF, I feel like backing out from this fight will be the most mature decision you can make. And finally, again,
Yeah.
Usama taken down. Third time in the game, this man has been taken down. He is certainly having the worst day of his life, at least for now, because it seems like the Slayers are
Oh!
just not going to let them go away. And finally, Slayers putting an end to the squad of FTF and proving that they are the top leaderboards leaders for now.
They just justified why they are holding that third and fourth slot and why they are capable of doing so. And we just saw one team being eliminated, but we also just witnessed an extreme hard southwestern shift, which leaves most of the team on the northern side in the area of Georgiapul and the mountain outer zone. So now teams like Prime, teams like RB, teams like Renegades, teams like Chaos, they have to all make an entry, but the center was held by other team I just saw. But also, you just mentioned the fact that Rule Breaker. Look at that split. Three players already into circle, and Toma trying to make a rotation from the northern side. But the way Slayers took the fight, that was phenomenal because at one point of time it was seeming that they might be flushed up. But Rai said, no, just hold on. I have something for you.
Slayers moving out here and there. 11 teams alive in the game. 39 players in total. Third zone. Well, the Slayers again. It seems like the Pochinki area, the circle is finally taking a drastic shift away from them. They will have to move all out in the open unless they find themselves a vehicle. That would be a better choice. That would be better means of transport for now. Finally, seems like Rahman is out on the move. The entire squad of X Generation is taking a massive exit from the spot they had for now. Rahman barely makes it back to safety, just on 1 HP. But for now, Maximus, I feel like they are going to be the king of the hill again. They do seem pretty dominative, and the confidence level they have do seem pretty high as well.
They are definitely with that confidence, and they must be eyeing for one more chicken because Portal Esports, last game they did pretty much decently in the last match. They did secure some of the kill points. All they need to do is to secure and accumulate as much as point from this match in order to shoot up their number and find themselves in the comfortable spot. But the moment I was speaking up this thing, they might be going up 1-1 against the players of NFPxSky Esports that are still with the 4 men strong, and with the whole with the area of hold of the compound they are with right now, they can be a good one contender for this match.
Exactly. For now, Portal Esports do have their sights locked on there. NFPxSky is the team that is locked inside the houses. I like how NFP is taking the approach. No one is inside the big building. Everyone is in the back lines holding those small compounds, basically making sure no one is entering the compounds as well from any sides. It's pretty much guarding that because they do know this might be a massive position in later game phases. One player kind of out in the open, almost gets spotted out by Joker, but not going to be spotting him out for now. Joker realizes that it's time to go back and take a little chill pill because he has made quite a lot of sound and he has caused quite a lot of ruckus.
Exactly, a lot of ruckus, a lot of sound cue has already been made, but again, two hard shift back to back leaves team in a lot of troublesome situation, and IGLs, they are having some real busy days. So now the circle goes towards the area of to southern side of the circle, and closer towards the area of Fairy Pier. So Team Prime with that prime location, Prime and their all teammates might be looking up to cover all the ridges that can be played in that situation. But look at that, Porter Esports close to the dead smack center. They can also have some good fights all in all together.
Exactly. I mean, it's like you basically have these kind of moments, you know, where you kind of separate away from your team and you don't really know exactly what's going on around you as well. Sometimes you just find yourself in a lost space. And that do happen most of the times. But finally, it seems like Renegade is on a move. The entire squad is on a massive move here. But seems like Nocto from Portal Esports taken down instantly. Maximus is going to be the squad that is putting a lot of pressure onto them. And we've seen in the past as well, Portal Esports isn't really able to stay alive for those late games. It's kind of like that one last man staying alive in the late games as well. And I'm also noticing one thing is that there's like only 3 players for most of the squads, and one player's kind of seem missing.
Indeed. One player still missing, but Joker Insane making things easy for their team. But for how long will they survive? This is the question, because Nocto has been knocked off, but the 2 players are still surviving. That compound that they just hold, that has multiple window. That means that offers you with multiple directions from where you can be shot on, and also the nades and utilities can get stuck to your side, so they have to be very much careful. But Maximus out in the open, they were making a rotation, but also trying to cut off the rotation of a team that was trying to pass through that area. Team Prime also looking strong, so some of the teams with 4 men strong, they can really make some real damage into the area of Lumberjack, where the woodcutters area are also present there. So this fight becomes a lot tricky and crunchier if we talk about this situation, because there is no compound as such. All you have is the area of ridges and the trees and the rocks that you can find as a cover.
Exactly. Team Chaos again on move. Well, we have Ninja here trying to scout the area out. Does know he did hear some few shots going off here and there, right next to the players of Prime, and I feel like that's the wrong place to take a stop, because there's entire squad of Team Prime and you just went and stopped in the mouth of your death. And this is a real bad placement coming out from his side as well. Misplaced nades coming out from the side of Prime as well. They're not really able to find its mark. Ninja still alive, looking good in this fight. Now Prime, I feel like pushing this fight wouldn't really be a good choice, because the rest of the players from their side as well are kind of staying in the back lines. And Team Chaos, for now, are in a pretty tricky situation, because the guys in the back lines, one guy have been taken down. Now all the massive boulder, all the massive burden is on his shoulders.
It is, and the equation for Team Chaos that was looking strong, that was looking decent after they secured the chicken dinner in the map of Sanhok, has now been altered. And thanks to the guys from Team Prime that has not let that happen. But still, the 3 players, they will be strong, as the player has given the revival. But Team Prime's Kireth will not be letting the entry of Team Chaos. But Prime's Kireth has to be very much cautious, because on the left-hand side, one team from one guy has already been prone on. But does he know of the slightest of any idea that he can be backstabbed? We have to still wait for that situation.
Can be backstab. Chaos, one player taken down. Ninja goes down to hell. Killers as well in a massive fire. While we take a look at Chaos. Again, Lord YT moving in forward there. Team Prime still kind of crawling here and there. One player still on the right side. Team Chaos is trying their best to retaliate back, but certainly getting out from such a tricky and pickly spot or position It's not going to be an easy job. Seems like Prime is getting backstabbed this time. This might be a massive help for Team Chaos here. Prime realized the intensity of the situation and decides to be a little on that aggressive page. If this fight keeps on continuing for more longer time, that just means that these lads are creating way much more sound that is unnecessary, and that will just attract a lot of beat towards them.
It is indeed, and just because of that, we can already see teams are trying to make a rotation. But we were talking about the situation, the same thing, that Toma can backstab the players from Prime, and they have been punished for what they didn't actually do, because we also need to clear your back lines if you are taking the fight in the front angle. Talking about that, NFPxSky Esports are also taking the fight in their own hand, but with some different angle. All 4 players spread out in 4 different directions in order to cater and to maximize the damage if any team is trying to approach towards them.
Exactly. Well, we have NFPxSky Esports. Kathir spotted out. Lord YT is taking quite a lot of shot as well. Behind that little Dacia that is busted out in the open. Finally taken down from the back lines, and it's going to be Portal Esports Joker putting the final nail in the coffin. Look at how Lost Esports have positioned themselves out in the open. The only cover they have is the hay bale.
They do, but Sky Sports trying to maximize the kill. Look at their positioning. 4 players, 4 different directions. They have the manpower, they have the advantage, they have the circle. All they just need to do is to scout the area and not let any push come closer to their side, and they are managing it pretty well. Look at the positioning. Ash also holding a different angle. Kathir, we just saw holding different angle. Gully Boy, Halsey. So 4 different players with that 360 angle. This is a brilliant gameplay coming from their side.
This is definitely a brilliant gameplay. Well, NFP again kind of waiting out in this situation. So things are kind of getting heated up. Lost still in the back lines. If Lost decide to turn on the aggressive mode, things will be looking pretty tough for NFPxSky without any doubt, because they have to deal with the guys in front of them and even the guys in the back lines. So things will definitely be way much more heated on their side as well. XQuetta, 3 players still alive, looking pretty strong in the game as well. It's only a matter of seconds when they get spotted out, and then maybe a fight will be panning out for them as well. XQuetta. Well, we have Arsalan cooking up a nade, and that nade is going to be finding its mark. And seems like X Generation finally eliminated out the game.
Exactly, the same thing happened. That means TeamXquetta have the maximum of the chance. How can I forget about this team? We just saw their positioning points, the total points. All they just need was close to, I guess, 10 or 12 points to make a qualification through the qualification round. 7 kills already onto the name. They are performing when it matters the most, and they are doing it pretty well. Three players are still standing on their feet. That means they just need to specify and smoothen themselves up. Just wait for players to do the mistake and then try to capitalize onto it. But also some players are looking also very strong. Team Prime, I'm surprised with the way they have actually panned out the game. Killer spotted on the open. Can this one more kill, one more point go into the name of TeamXquetta? Out in the open, Lost Esports trying to make a rotation, was just on the brink of being taken down, but still he survives.
Prime eliminated out the game. Taking a little bit of blind shots here and there. XQuetta still kind of want to know where exactly the enemy have positioned themselves. But I feel like the position that XQuetta have for themselves, it's pretty much like they have surrounded themselves with a lot of enemies. Lost Esports, kind of one player taken down. Did not really expect such unfortunate outcome. Insane's position has finally been given away. That gives away the entire squad of Portal Esports position. That one kill just gave their position away. Maximus as well in the front lines of XQuetta. I still don't know how Arsalan did not spot him out.
Exactly, there is, I guess, a buggy or maybe something that he is hiding behind himself. Maybe a well-cooked nade can do things up, and that will be pretty much done for them. But it seems that no, Maximus in the center of the fight between Portal Esports and TeamXquetta is enjoying the fight for now, is just not giving any sound clues away. Arslan just trying to loot all the crates. 8 kill already into the name of TeamXquetta from the southeastern side. They can have a chicken or serve in their name only if they just avoid the unnecessary fights.
Exactly. We still have some teams. Pretty much a peaceful moment again. I mean, we're not really seeing anything happen, even though it's such a small circle. This next circle shift is going to be so incredible. as it's going to be favoring the lads from NFPxSky. Now, this is pretty massive. This might be NFPxSky's game only if they manage to hold it off pretty well. And it seems like NFPxSky are finally going to be backing off to the circle and try and get themselves a decent situation inside the circle as well, post themselves up for those kills when these teams are going to be trying to make it inside the circle. Portal Esports, finally a little bit of movements being shown from their side, and we see NFPxSky as well using those vehicles and finally getting on top hill. We might just see a hell break loose. We might see a fight club up in this battleground.
Indeed, we will, but they have to be very much cautious with the way MAXIMUSxFTN has positioned himself up, because he can spoil the game all in all for both this team, and Satan still holding the category PES Portal Esports. Joker very close to him. It seems that Satan has spotted him, but Joker has no idea that Satan is positioned. But as I said, he spots him, takes him down. One more team gets eliminated, and now it's down to 3 teams and 8 players still alive.
Again, Arsenal cooking that nade up. Portal Esports, it's just down to these last 3 teams. That nade did quite a lot of damage to Arsenal. Got him down to less HP, but Arsenal this time, it seems like I'm going to be responding back with way much more firepower than you. Finds the mark. The nade accuracy from his side is there. Insane is there as well. I feel like Arsenal should not be too greedy to try and get that kill. Maybe try and hold his horses a little bit, because Insane is there in the backlines as well, including NFPxSky's members. Now, this is a 3-on-3-on-1 situation. How is Insane going to be able to deal with this? Because he's the only man alive from his squad. And situations like these, I'm pretty sure Insane is on a heavy pressure right now.
He is feeling the pressure. He is feeling the heat for now, because he is the sole man surviving, the only player from his side, and the whole of the responsibility is lying on to him. But that responsibility will be shed off as the last player gets removed. Now it's down to 3v3 affair up against the players of Quetta Esports and NFPxSky Esports. So both of the team looking very strong, have come this far. 11 kills in this name, into the name of TeamXquetta, but 6 kills. But the best part for them is that both team are 3 men strong. And Nade was actually had a very good trajectory, but it seemed that Dacia helped him save him.
Randy peppering down shots here and there. NFPxSky in the front lines. Finally see a little bit of movement from Muqaddar's side as well. He's lining up himself on the right side. Do you know NFPxSky's right in the front lines? He is posting himself up for success. Only if Guliboy spots him out. Guliboy is the closest one to him. Finally, it seems like Ranu has spotted some movement out. Yes, finds the first kill for himself. Guliboy does know where the shots came in from. Now Muqaddar, all he needs to do is just land some incredible nades. That would definitely help him out in the situation that he's right now. Guliboy finally spots him out as well. Muqaddar wants to confirm the kill. Being a little too greedy, I feel like he should not go for the kill first. Maybe try and hold on to his position. And it seems like, yes, Muqaddar almost takes him out, but his teammate will be there in the back lines, and they will provide him the cover fire. And that's going to be the chicken dinner in the hands of NFPxSky. And this is the most needed chicken dinner for them. They needed this pretty desperately. And finally, it seems like NFPxSky might have just clinched their spot.
They do have, because the hashtag 12 out of 32,
Yeah.
that means that they are with that 12 ranking. 29 total points is what they have secured. A huge fragging match for them. 14 is the total of kills that they have secured, and a massive number of 2,406 damage is what they have been able to secure. That means TeamXquetta did manage to secure themselves a slot in the top 16, and also I'll be waiting to see which other team has missed this mark, or which other team has been toppled down.
Exactly. I mean, especially talking about toppling down, overall leaderboards, I was just looking at them. Overall leaderboards are looking pretty interesting. I mean, a team especially like 4th Generation and stuff like that. I mean, 4th Generation have pretty much made it, but teams like X Generation, they are still kind of, not really looking good on their side. And I'm pretty sure after this, they're going to be pretty disappointed after that as well. But NFPxSky finally clinched their spot away, got themselves 12th position. That means they are moving to the finals as well. 5 kills on their name, 844 damage total, and assists of 2. I mean, these kind of performances, are again pretty good. And Arsenal, I have to give this man a lot of props. The way he played out that situation was absolutely phenomenal.
Also, Muqaddar, his teammate, has helped him with that tandem, and we have seen if the players work in tandem, if they go in tandem, and it is a triplet for now because Ryan has also joined the frame with 834 of damage, a 5 total of kills, survival time of 26 minutes 29 seconds, and just because of that, when it mattered the most, TeamXquetta running victorious, emerging victorious in this match. A total of 29 points is what they have been able to secure from this match. That means a rhythm that they will be carrying forward to the finals.
Exactly, the rhythm they have, the legacy they have, but only I want to say, are they going to be able to carry to finals though? I mean, you made a statement they will be able to, but I mean, again, the question in my mind is still there. I mean, anything can happen, especially the finals. We might see new strategies pop out as well. We might see some strategies that were hidden in the sleeves just come out, and in the finals, just absolutely some teams that we did not expect just decimate out the entire battlefield. And we don't know exactly how kind of things might happen. But one thing we can definitely expect is that in finals we are going to be having a massive competition, and
It will be.
me as a person, I would personally be pretty stoked to watch this finals, because why would you not? You've already came through so far, so you might as well stick around and watch the finals on 4th.
It will be, but the finals are yet to overcome. But Oppo F19 Pro moments are on your TV screen as we just witnessed all these fights, all these iconic fights in the city of Pochinki, where Team Slayers did come victorious. Eventually, they were looking strong. Both the team were three-man lineup, but eventually it was the Slayers that emerged victorious. Also, NFPxSky Esports. So this is the place, this is the moment from where they started pressurizing all the players. Eventually, they did falter out thanks to the wonders done from the sides of TeamXquetta, but NFPxSky Esports also did decently well in this last day of semifinals.
Exactly, they did pretty good in the last day of semifinals, finals, and these Oppo F19 Pro. I mean, again, they are here to remind us, and this is how they won the game as well. XQuetta. I mean, these are the overall rankings. Top 8, pretty much nothing really much changed here. Portal Esports, today's day, I feel like wasn't really their day. They weren't really having the best timelines. They weren't really having the, just the good coordination between the teammates as well. The sweetness of the team was just kind of missing today. But it's fine. In the final, maybe on the 4th of June, we'll be able to see these lads, just bring out some strategies out their sleeves. And they were like, okay, it was just a prank, bro, or something like that. But again, top 16, these are the top 16 right in front of your eyes. As Stalwart Esport has made it in as well. Freestyle, Team Prime, XQuetta, Team TES. Then we have Renegades as well, Lost Esports and RZ7E Esports barely hanging on the clefts and making themselves known in the top 16. And these teams from the top 16s will be moving in the finals. And unfortunate, that's a sad story for Team FTF. Again, previous game weren't really able to come out on top. I did mention this final game is going to be so important for especially teams like FTF, X Generation, and 4th Generation, including youngsters and Team Chaos. And all these teams in the final game of the final day kind of missed out, but still, again, now let's talk about the teams that are in the top 16. Now, the top 16 teams, as I did mention, we might see some hidden strategy roll out from their sleeves as well. What exactly new things do you think maybe they will put on the board?
So firstly, they will have to look where the drop location might not go clash, or maybe if they are going with that strategy. And also, so now they have a sample size of really a huge number, so they must be prioritizing on the rotation. So from where players can we get caught off if there is some situation, or from where is the loose angle, the loose spot that we talk about. So they might be looking to fill that void all in all.
Exactly, might be able to fill that void. All in all, I mean, those were the kind of top players, but now we have kill leaders of that previous game. Wolverine, kill leaders of the overall semifinals over here in front of our eyes. Wolverine with 31 kills on his name, 6,917. Wolverine again leading the chart. It's like Wolverine has fixed his name on that board there of those kill leaders, and no one up till now has able to overcome Wolverine. And this just shows how dominant. This just shows how dominating Team Cordy has been overall. But with that being said, this was the final day, and that was the final game as well of semifinals. Finals will be back on 4th June, same time. So you guys don't go anywhere. Make sure to stay tuned, and we'll be catching you guys on 4th June.
keep it